We brave the weather, the rain, the traffic. One final time to come to the Tacoma Dome to end the high school football season in the state of Washington. The 4A final, Woodinville getting off the bus. They're here in the title game for the first time since 2005 and looking very dapper, I might add. Meanwhile, the Richland Bombers coming over from the Tri-Cities. They're here back-to-back title games looking to finish first this year. Richland and Woodinville for the 4A championship inside the T-Dome. That's where we are right now. It's Brad Adam, our football analyst, Mr. Taylor Barton. Always kind of bittersweet. A long year. We're excited to bring you games each and every week. We end here tonight. At least we've got two undefeated teams to end the season.
Yeah, and it's a simple recipe tonight. Stay undefeated, walk away with a state championship and a ring. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
I like it. You make it sound so easy, Taylor. I like it. Let's take a look at the 4A bracket, see how they got here in 2017 Gridiron Classic. Central Valley winning to set up the battle with Richland in the semis. Richland easily 42-10. Meanwhile, Woodinville, a tough one over a very good Sumner team, shutting them out 10-0. We'll talk defense in a second, but right now, how about Jaden Sheffy, the senior, and Nash Fouts, his senior receiver for Woodinville. Both guys playmakers for the Falcons.
They are. This is the dynamic duo. Jaden, capable of making every throw, capable of beating you with his feet. Does a great job of extending plays. He's a tough guy. He's not looking to slide. He's going to try and get those extra yards. As far as his arm strength, though, he loves throwing the streaks, loves throwing those over-the-top posts, and extends plays, and that's the biggest thing. The defense, even if you have guys in coverage, you have to stay on them because he's got his eyes downfield at all times, trying to take advantage of things, and he's looking for Nash Fouts, his go-to receiver. Nash is a University of Montana commit, has multiple D1 offers, especially when they get in third down situations. If you're a defense, you got to put a safety over the top and a DB in his face, or else he is going to make you pay all night. They have other weapons, but this is his go-to guy.
For Richland, guys trying to stop them. The defense for the Bombers, very adept, Taylor, at creating turnovers. They've had 25 interceptions so far, 8 alone by that man, Adam Weisenfels.
Well, he's going to have a big night tonight. They're going to look for him to set the tone on defense. 8 interceptions. A lot of guys don't get that in an entire career. He gets that in one season. They need him to try and get at least one tonight to get some turnovers, momentum, and field position.
Well, the Bombers, they live up to their nickname on offense. Cade Jensen, a first-year starter at quarterback. Huge numbers for an offense that averages 46 points a game.
Well, you see those numbers. That's a great touchdown to interception ratio. Threw 5 touchdowns in the semifinal last week. He's really a kid. They didn't know what to expect coming into the season. He's been the biggest pleasant surprise, not just in the way he's throwing the ball, the decisions he's making, but the way he's leading this team. Look at, he's throwing off his back foot, giving his guys jump balls. He's extending plays with his feet, but he's got the arm strength to go downfield, over the top. They can really stretch a defense out. They need to take some shots early and often tonight downfield to get those Woodinville safeties and corners backed up.
And he's facing the dark side. Woodinville's defense, they give up just 9 points a game.
Yeah, this is not a fun task to go against this defense. They are one of the most sound defenses I've ever seen in high school football. Gap integrity, guys staying in their lanes, trusting each other to be where they need to be. They do a nice job of mixing up zone coverage, man coverage. They'll bring blitzes. They're going to really try and keep that offense on its heels.
Their starters on defense have allowed 8 touchdowns this year. 8 touchdowns in 13 games. Again, the Bombers put up a lot of points. Offenses and defenses will be tested here tonight in the T-Dome. It's the end of the high school football season, the 4A title game. It's the Falcons and Bombers coming up right here on Root Sports.
Beacon Plumbing High School Football on Root Sports is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Aquafina, win $5,000 towards your student's future. Visit locketpledge.com for the details. And by Amtrak Cascades. What a beautiful way to travel. Visit AmtrakCascades.com. Welcome, everybody. Angie Bentig here alongside our football analyst, Jason Stiles. And last night in the 3A title game, we saw O'Day come out with its hair on fire, determined to claim their first championship since 1995. Now, in the 4A game, it's setting up a battle between two teams who have been very dominant, Jason.
They've been dominant. It's all happened with defense. You look at the Richland Bombers. They are a senior-laden team, 30 seniors on this team, and defensively, they get home with their front four. They've forced 10 turnovers in their first 3 playoff games. They are on fire right now. Now, you look at Woodinville. They call themselves the dark side. Their front four on defense is fantastic. They get home 45 sacks on the season, 23 interceptions. Something's got to give because both these teams have good offenses too, Ange, but I think we're in for a real treat as we get this 4A final started.
Yeah, and the Bombers with a chance for their first title since 1999, while the Falcons are looking for their first ever football championship. And don't forget to let us know where you're watching this game. Use the hashtag WhereIRoot presented by Alaska Airlines and send us your photos on either Twitter or Instagram. And if you do, we'll try to get your photos on the air. Now remember, using that hashtag does give us permission to show your pictures. So keep them coming all game long. Jason, not you, just them out there. Okay. All right, kickoff to the 4A championship game between Richland and Woodinville is just moments away. So for the call, we get you back to the Tacoma Dome and reconnect with Brad Adam and Taylor Barton. Guys?
All right, Angie and Jason, thank you very much. As you can imagine, a big crowd here, an electric atmosphere in the T-Dome for the final game to decide the 4A championship. And just minutes ago, the Woodinville Falcons getting ready, getting pumped up, listening to an inspirational speech from their head coach.
You go out, you battle tonight for the love of your brothers, right? For the love of this program, the love of this team, right? Parker Moore, the only thing left to do is go do it. Let's go, do it. Get a win. 2, 3, win. Let's go, head out.
And that was that man, Bruce Maxwell, in his 14th year, head coach of the Falcons. Wayne Maxwell, I'd say he's ready. I'd say Coach is ready.
He is. I think he wants to throw on the pads and get out there with him. Let's keep an eye and make sure he doesn't have an extra set of shoulder pads and sneak himself into the game.
On the other sideline, the visitors from Richland, Mike Neidhold, in his 10th year, 4 conference championships, looking for a little revenge after losing the title last year to Camas.
Yeah, they got here. They know the taste of getting here. They also know the taste of coming just short in such a heartbreaker. Both of these teams have had such a great year, want to go out on a high note, walk away with that title.
So the home team, Woodinville in all green, they will be kicking off to Richland in gold pants, white jerseys, and the student body, my guess is they'll be standing all game long. And we are underway. This one's not going to be returned. Richland takes over their first possession from their own 20-yard line.
And you know, Brad, the fun thing about this is when you have a Kinko team versus a team in Eastern Washington, people just don't know on both sides about the other team. So it's really fun to get them in this atmosphere and see who ends up coming on top.
You see number 10, Cade Jensen there. He's got a good running back in Parker McCary, who's over 1,000 yards on the season. And their line, a strength for Richland. Davison, Marin, Robinson, Michik, and December. Providing lots of opportunity and time for Jensen. Again, this offense averages 46 points a game. They're going up against one of the state's best in Woodinville. McCary's first carry, left side for 5 yards. And that dark side defense. 4 defensive linemen, Schreier, Lewis, Pryor, Bailey. Bailey and Schreier both over 16 sacks this year. Taplett, a nickelback linebacker, makes a lot of plays for the Falcons. And Jensen going up top. Incomplete, no flag. Contact. The Cage Skank there on the coverage for the Falcons.
Yeah, just a sophomore. They're going after him right away. I like the call. Get in here. Sometimes teams get a little too conservative. They got a nice run. Give themselves a shot on second down. Go the home run shot. You don't get it. You got a third and medium. You're sitting okay.
Got a 3rd down 5 right here. Hands it off McCary. Not going to get there. Schreier on the stop. He leads the team now with 60 tackles on the year. Richland forced to punt.
And that's what I talk about. They are so sound. Woodinville will not beat themselves. You are going to have to come out and you're going to have to make spectacular plays because defensively, everyone's going to hold their assignment and they're going to play their position, their spot, be where they need to be, and we saw that on the first series.
And the illegal motion on Richland as Josh Mendoza gets the punt off. Return inside Richland territory. That was Nash Fouch. Be curious to see if Woodinville has him re-kick. As a Bomber player late coming onto the field right before the punt.
Well, we'll see. Either way, they're starting with great starting field position. They're already in Richland territory. Looks like he's saying decline it, take the ball on the, what is it, the 46-yard line. That's pretty ideal for your first offensive series.
Illegal shift. First down.
Well, you hear from our referee tonight, Mark Johnson. And here comes Jaden Sheffy and that Falcons offense. Sheffy's accounted for 32 touchdowns this year.
Well, look at the balance, too. Over 1,000 rushing, over 500, or 1,000 passing, 500 rushing. He's able to do it both ways.
And you see the big line right there. 4 of the 5 are seniors for the Falcons. Their first play. A handoff that goes nowhere. That's Matt Jones getting the carry. Lee on the stop.
When the conference call was coached this week, that was the guy he could not stop talking about him on the first defensive play. We see why.
Screen pass, Fouch, complete. Makes one miss. Not going to make 2 miss. Mendoza gets back up to help out on the stop, along with Casey Perryman.
Well, and Weisenfeld's right there, number 7 at DB. He took on the lead blocker, kept contained, and didn't give the receiver anywhere to go outside, allowed pursuit to come and help.
Defensive back strong for Richland. We've got a 3rd down 9. Sheffy intercepted. It's Weisenfeld's. And Sheffy takes him hard out of bounds, but that's interception number 9 on the year.
And we talked about he had 8 interceptions coming into this. We said he needed to get one. He gets it on the first series. And we also mentioned on 3rd down, Jaden Sheffy loves to go to Nash Fouch on comebacks, and they've seen that in film. He ended up at the DB position, bail technique, and then squatted. And so Nash Fouch just kept going, hoping that Jaden would throw that hole shot for Richland. They ended up going with their heels against the wall. Defensively with terrible starting field position that they gave Woodinville, get a turnover, and now they start in Woodinville territory. What a turnaround.
And we asked Coach Neidhold how you end up with 8 interceptions, now 9. He said that Weisenfels is very smart. He's got MIT going there next year for college or accepted to MIT. He says that things just kind of slow down for him. He sees the game in slow motion. And we saw it right there.
Before the snap, play of game against the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
And, you know, Brad, we saw this in last night's game with Rainier Beach and O'Day. You know, guys' nerves are going. They're in the Tacoma Dome. It's a loud crowd. You're on TV. They got to calm their nerves.
Big hole for McCary. Into Falcons territory. It's a first down, Bombers.
Over down by Brett Ackermas, number 21.
And they're quick to the ball here on first down from the 35. McCary again. Nowhere. Dylan Lewis with a stop.
After the line of scrimmage for no gain, Dylan Lewis.
Let's jump right to it. Our favorite part. There it is. Such a handsome man. Taylor's take for the 4A championship. Talk to me about Richland.
Well, when we look at Richland, we talk about explosive plays. They've got to get the run game established and then take some shots downfield. And for Woodinville, spread the wealth. You can't just look for Nash Fouch. Get it to all your athletes.
Jensen throws. Great leaping grab by Mendoza. And they move the chains again.
Well, we know Jaden Sheffy is a great athlete, but Cade Jensen, you see he can extend plays, throwing on the run, going and high pointing that ball. This Richland offense has come out. Once you establish that run game in the line of scrimmage, it starts opening up the downfield passing game.
And off to Parker McCary.
Short gain for McCary there on first down.
Got 2 yards on that play.
And you know, Brad, in these kind of games, it's interesting because both teams, they've been used to just dominating opponents. So it's like a title fight. You all of a sudden you get punched in the jaw, and you're kind of looking around like, whoa, we're in for a battle here, and that's what it's looking like with Woodinville right now.
Jensen pulls it down. Now under pressure, flag on the field. Jensen finds Weisenfels complete, but let's check the flag.
Usually when you see this, it's some kind of holding. When the offensive line is having to block for that long, we'll see it was thrown in the backfield. But what a great job by Cade Jensen of extending the play, and then the arm strength to throw off his back foot across his body.
During the play, holding on the offense. The 10-yard penalty will be from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Well, this is good defensive coverage by the secondary. There's nothing there. Good protection. You saw the little jersey grab right there in the middle of your screen. It's a tough task to ask offensive linemen to block for 10 seconds. But look at the arm strength and how beautiful that ball comes out of Cade Jensen's hands. Tight spiral right on the outside.
They're now pushed back to Woodinville's 37-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 24.
When you get in this kind of down and distance, you want to get about half of it back here. Give yourself a third and manageable down and distance.
Jensen rolling. Pass is intercepted but out of bounds. A great grab by Nash Fouch, but he lands out of bounds.
Well, he's playing safety. We talk about him as good as he is on offense. He's a tremendous defensive player, and you saw him tiptoe. I'm not sure he wasn't in bounds on this. This is a too high safety look. It's a rollout. I think he was in there. I think he was in there. Very fortunate for Richland. Where they're at right now, if you're on the 37-yard line, you might be in 4-down territory here. So again, try and get yourself about 10 yards. Give yourself a nice 4th down manageable situation.
Just need 1 foot down in high school. McCary screen pass incomplete. Jensen led him too far. Now 4th and 24.
And if you're on the 38 and it's maybe 4th and 5, I could see going for it. I think you got to punt here. Just the way your defense came out, got a turnover on the first series. It's so early in the game. I think you got to try and play field position.
And that's what Mike Neidhold is going to do. Mendoza, his punter, back on the field. Neidhold in 83 and 30. This is 10th season. Again, 4 conference championships. Took care of Central Valley in the semis by a score of 42-10. They are rolling. The lefty, nice angled punt. He's going to fly out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So Woodinville, second possession. When we come back, we're still scoreless in the T-Dome. 7 minutes, 11 seconds to go here, first quarter. The WIAA 4A state title game. We got your take on Richland, Taylor. Taylor's take in that pretty picture. Talk to me about Woodinville tonight.
Well, we saw the explosive plays for Richland. They tried to go downfield. Woodinville spread the wealth. For Jaden Sheffy, yes, Nash Fouch is your go-to guy, but you have a plethora of weapons all around. Force the defense to cover the entire field, wide and long. Get it in your athletes' hands, let them make plays.
So they mark the ball on the 20-yard line, and Sheffy has problems with the snap. He's got to down it. He's going to be pushed back to the 14.
Well, that's a kind of mistake Woodinville is not accustomed to making. And let's credit the Richland guys up front when they're as physical as they are. All of a sudden, the line has to start thinking a little bit more about it. The center maybe trying to get his hands up to block. Didn't get the snap all the way up.
Handoff out to the 16-yard line. That's Brett Ackermas, his first carry.
And up to number 20.
Well, Akamis, you're in a treat watching him tonight. He will just kind of lull you to sleep, get a 3-yard gain, 5-yard gain, and then he'll break one for 50 or 60. Big physical running back. He is going to make those defensive linemen and linebackers earn their paycheck tonight. They're going to be sore tomorrow tackling him.
3rd down, 14. Sheffy scrambles. He's got room middle field. But he's going to be stopped short of the 30 and short of the first down.
The danger of going to 2 deep, 500 man is that there's no one left to account for the quarterback. But the good thing for Richland is it was 3rd and forever. So even if they end up getting 12, 13 yards, they still have to punt. That goes back. That series goes back to the first down snap where they end up losing 6 yards. If they don't have that play, they're moving the chains on that 3rd down.
But instead, Fouch will be back to punt. Weisenfeld's back for the Bombers. And he's going to return this one. Weisenfeld's room near side. Finally knocked out of bounds, but a big return from the senior. Richland, great field position.
Well, and that's where you cannot lose contain. Number 1, Dylan Usora was the gunner, and he was on the right side. He has outside contain to that side. He ended up getting blocked past to your right of your screen. Now there's no one left out there for contain. Once Weisenfeld comes back, he's able to just turn the corner and go. And now you look at, for Richland, their 2 offensive possessions, they started with very good field position.
Nothing to show for it yet. But they take over on Woodinville's 32-yard line now. 1st down, 10. McCary trying to get outside. Tough run down to the 26-yard line, taking Akamis with him.
I mean, that's crazy timing on the mesh of their handoff on this zone read. It almost looks like he's getting the snap simultaneously as he's handing it off. That's either really good timing or they're getting fortunate, and that could come back to burn them later on in this game.
2nd and 5. Back to him, right side. Finds a little bit of a hole and fall forward to the 22. This could be another 1st down. And it is.
This is the big guys up front getting the job done. Look at that push. There's no contact for 4 or 5 yards downfield. Anytime that happens for a running back, that means the big guys up front are getting the job done.
Michik and December on that right side getting it done. 1st down, Bombers. Back to him.
That's the 2nd time now we've seen tonight Ben Pryor, number 19 for Woodinville, to the right of your screen. He's lost contain. The first time, it was the first series for Richland on their 1st down. That time looked like he might have gotten held a little bit, but either way, he's got to do a better job of engaging and keeping outside contain. Force the running back inside where you have help.
Pick up a 5 from McCary on 1st. Back to him. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Pryor, and the guy's ready that time.
There you go. When guys stay outside contain, now it forces a running back to have to cut back inside where you have help. That play right there is what Woodinville has to do to stop this Richland running game.
The defensive front 4 so good for Woodinville all season long. It's 3rd and 5. Stutter step trying to get outside, not going to get there. A nice open field tackle by Danny Metzger.
Yeah, it was. And I was hard on Pryor, but if you look to the left now, he took on 2 lead blockers. So even though he got pushed back, he allowed his linebacker to scrape and get there and make the tackle. Defensive linemen don't always have huge stats, but when they do a good job taking on lead blockers, and 2 of them, it frees it up for linebackers to get big stats and big numbers.
4th down, here Bombers going for it. Complete over the middle, inside the 10. That's Mendoza again with a 1st down reception.
And I thought this slant was here right away. He kind of pulls it back, throws it again. Fortunate that there wasn't someone reading his eyes to intercept that, but a nice job of resetting his feet, getting the throw in there, and a nice job of Mendoza going across the middle, knowing you're going to usually take a big shot and pulling that ball in.
First and goal, Richland. Jensen, quick pass, complete. Weisenfels diving for the pylon, and he's in. Bombers strike first.
This kid is fun to watch, Brad Adam. We've seen him on defense. We've seen him on offense. He is special. This is just a quick little now route. Outside receivers blocking the guys in front of him. It's a one-on-one safety against him, and he is winning that battle 99% of the time.
Good call by the ref. That ball hitting that pylon, that is a touchdown, and look who gets to kick the extra point.
Hey, if he's done it on offense and defense, might as well make it the trifecta and do it on special teams.
Got the hold down, the kick up, and it is good. Richland strikes in the first quarter. Jensen to Weisenfeld. That's his 11th touchdown receiving on the year, and the visitors up 7. Welcome back to the T-Dome. Number 7, you can't quite. There is Adam Weisenfels. Doesn't have the helmet off like Taylor likes when you do something well, and as he has done. Already made a couple of big plays first quarter.
Well, he's made his presence felt in this game. Gets the interception, catches it, ends up the speed, and then the hand-eye coordination and the just ability to reach out, put that ball across the line, get the touchdown, and then, to cap it off, why not go kick the extra point and just show everyone your versatility.
And also throw in a 27-yard punt return. So the senior having a big impact already on this game. The Bombers student body making the trip over, and they're loud, feeling good. And there is Adam. Got to kick it off. Don't come off the field. I like that. Little pooch kick taken around the 30-yard line. Good coverage, not much of a return. Falcons ball once again here in the first quarter. And hey, football fans, don't forget Aquafina has partnered with NFL wide receiver and returner Tyler Lockett for you to make a pledge for the future. Visit LockettPledge.com and tell us why it's important to you that your high school student graduates and you could win $5,000 towards your student's future. Thank you, Mr. Lockett, and of course Aquafina. All right, Jaden Sheffield's got to get something going here for this Falcons offense.
Yeah, he doesn't. For Woodinville, they've been in this situation, so they're not panicking. Just stay in your offense, do what you do best. I'd like to see them get him in that zone read game a little bit more.
He hands that one off. Another short gain right up the middle for Matt Jones.
And on to Matt Jones.
Well, early on, we're seeing the Richland guys up front on offense and defense controlling the line of scrimmage. And that's coming into this game. There's always talk about perimeter players, but usually this championship game is won every year by the team that wins in the trenches.
Sheffie complete. Noah Stifle on the reception. About to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Just a simple hitch route. Jaden Sheffie, nice rhythm, nice delivery. That's a nice, easy completion to get his confidence going and put you in a 3rd and short, which allows you to do anything in your offense, run or pass.
Same play. This one batted down, nearly intercepted. Richland's got 27 picks on the year, and Tyler Fishback is looking for another one.
Well, Woodinville went right back to that hitch again, and it was off coverage. It was there, but as a defensive lineman, or if you're blitzing, you're taught if you can't get to the quarterback, the next best thing, put your hands up and try and time it, bat it down, and he did just that. Nice play, forces Woodinville into another punting situation.
Jake Stanfield, the senior, getting up, showing some hops there, and knocking that one down. Fouch back to punt again for Woodinville. Fair catch this time by Weisenfels. And Richland will take over on the 25-yard line. The state champs from the Tri-Cities. Kamiakin last year. Chiawana, Pasco several times. Richland a couple of times. Again, last one was in '99.
That Chiawana game in 2013. There was some great games on that list right there. The Chiawana one pops out, was pretty incredible.
Last win for Richland, 99, Mike Neidhold. Head coach now was on that staff. Remembers that game fondly. Jensen pitches it back.
Ball is pitched to number
Jared
14,
Whitby.
Jared Whitby.
The senior's got 7 touchdowns on the year rushing.
That was a very nice play by number 22, Noah Taplin. He took on a lead blocker, shed him, and then made the tackles individually. He's a big part of the Woodinville defense, and they need him to play big tonight.
Whitby stood up at the line of scrimmage.
And to Whitby.
And you know, Brown, when we get in these situations, everyone talks in stats about turnovers, time of possession. I always look at third down conversions, offense and defense. As a defense, can you get off the field and stop them on third downs? As an offense, can you keep the chains moving?
And here we go. Richland trying to keep those chains moving. Jensen going across body, cross field. Complete. A dangerous pass, but hauled in for a big gain by Sammy Cervantes.
Well, great job by Sammy of reading Cade Jensen. They were on the same page. That is guys who have rhythm, who have thrown a lot together. That was a design rollout to the left. Cade Jensen was going to throw the over route, the sail route, but Nash Fausch from the safety spot came down. There was nothing there. He flipped his hips, threw it across the grain. Huge pickup.
Whitby right in that teeth of the defense for a couple of yards. That should be the final play here in the first quarter.
2-yard gain in that play, and that's the last play of the
And it is 12 minutes in the books. Right here, downtown Tacoma, Richland on top, 7-0, and they've got the ball when we come back.
Hi, everybody. Angie Mentic here at the Ford Sports Desk. Wondering who you are rooting for and where you are rooting them on. Doesn't matter if you're going for Richland or Woodinville. We hope you send in a photo. Stu sends this one in, and this is Woodinville classes of 85, 86, and 87 in the house being represented. Casey and his buddy watching Richland take this W. Very confident there. And I love this. T-ball multitasking. Go Bombers. Watching and decorating the tree at the same time. Getting things done. I like that a lot. The hashtag to use is Where I Root, presented by Alaska Airlines. Keep the photos coming. We'll try to get your photo on the air. How much glitter do you think that it took to make that poster, guys?
On the poster on their face, hard to tell. The late 80s, that was the Tui years, and maybe Ryan Lentz at quarterback. Both go to UW. Lentz in baseball, Tui, of course, in football. That pass incomplete on second down, excuse me. Love the spirit. Can't get enough sparkles. My daughters will tell you the same thing.
Oh, yeah. I know my daughter's watching. She's loving
glitter,
that right
anything,
there.
yes.
Loving it.
Any face paint's fantastic. All right, 3rd down and 8. Just started second quarter. Woodinville in green, Richland, the yellow pants and white jerseys. Jensen going up top. His man is open. Great over-the-shoulder catch. Cody Sanderson. Huge gain for the Bombers.
I don't know if he could have walked out and set it in a better spot. This is just a streak route. Man to man, you're taught to put it over the receiver's outside shoulder, and that is exactly where Cade Jensen placed that. You cannot throw a better ball on a streak route. And I'll tell you what, early on in this game, Cade Jensen looks like the real deal.
Coming off a semifinal game where he throws for over 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. They've got 1st and goal from the 6. To the air, slant, incomplete. But they might get the flag, and it looks like they will.
Ryan Priskovich. It's incomplete. There's a penalty marker.
Trying to hit Priskovich in the end zone.
You know, we've seen Noah Tapley in the run game. We talked about how big he is. He also plays big in the pass.
Pass interference on the defense. The ball will be placed half the distance to the goal line. It'll be first down.
So 1st and goal now at the 3-yard line.
Well, once Richland gets into this down and distance, they love to just be physical and hand the ball off and get upfield.
A little wildcat. Whitby taking the snap. Spinning and diving. and landing in the end zone for the score.
Number 14 goes 3 yards into the end zone. Touchdown.
They go a little wildcat. They had Cade Jensen, the quarterback, lined up out left at receiver. They go a direct snap in the wildcat, get him upfield. Nice job by the line of washing down the Woodinville defensive front. Got some good lead blocks, and that puts it at a 2-possession game, and Richland is making a statement that we're coming out west and we're showing you what real physical football looks like.
Extra point you see right at our camera is good. So Jared Whitby bouncing off a Fouch, spinning, getting into the end zone, and the Bombers up top, 14-0 now over the Falcons.
What's up?
Well, if anybody took sounder here, might be a little surprised at the score. 14-0 second quarter. Richland on top of the dark side defense from Woodinville, moving the ball pretty easily so far.
Yeah, it's been all dark for Woodinville on both sides of the ball. Richland absolutely dominating this game in all 3 phases.
Tacoma with a one-handed grab, keep it from going out of bounds. And a nice return out to the 27-yard line. But this Falcons offense been stymied so far, just 16 total yards.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to establish a run game. It's kind of made them one-dimensional and have just not moved the chains. Look at that, though. Pretty great catch over his head. That was dangerous. If he would have tipped that and then the ball goes back, that would have been a problem. Fortunate, he's such a good athlete. He was able to pull that in and get upfield.
Jeffy, the Fouch, quick out, complete. Pickup of 8.
I like that. Woodinville has seen a weakness when they're going a 3-by-1 set on that single receiver side. It's been real cushion. In the last series, they threw that hitch on second and then third down. So now they've moved Nash Fouch over to that single receiver side where it's going to force Richland to have to walk a linebacker out and open up the run game.
Jeffy on the keep. First down carry. He's got 12 touchdowns on the ground, so he can run.
Well, that's why the zone read is so difficult, because as a defense now you have to account for an 11th man. The defensive end comes down thinking it's going to get handed off, and now there's no one left to account for the quarterback. I think they need to get into that more and more. They'll have a lot of success with it.
Fouch in motion, he gets the ball. Nice cutback into Richland territory. Very close to another first down.
Well, offensive coordinator Mike Palushki does such a good job of finding ways to get the ball in Nash Fouch's hands. He's so big, strong, athletic, and there's Mike Palushki right there, offensive coordinator, one of the best in the business, just an offensive mastermind at finding weaknesses in defenses, finding ways to constantly attack them.
Trying to go to him again, but he is sacked. Lee coming up again for the Bombers.
Well, they've thrown the hitch to the single receiver side. They go a hitch and go to Nash Fouch. Watch the pump fake here. He's looking to fake the hitch, but the defense played it well. There was nothing there, and the defensive front doing a nice job with a 4-man rush of getting home to the QB.
Lee, the lineman of the year.
He is big and he can move. He moves like a skill position player. That is a tough task for an offensive guard.
Ackerman's trying to get by him, can't do it. It's Lee again, getting a little help from Caleb Chapman.
Jones, number 20.
Well, when everyone talks about the SEC in college football, yes, they got good perimeter players, but it's the guys up front on the defensive line, the offensive line. That's what wins games. If you look at Lee, he is just dominant. We saw him in the pass rush. Look at him just throw the lineman. Get out of my way. Let me get to the running back and tackle him.
Third down long, Sheffy stepping up, hitting the backfield, and he will be brought down. might get back to the line of scrimmage, but Chapman right there again. And this Bombers defense playing inspired so far.
When you can only rush 4 defensive linemen and put pressure on a quarterback, that means you got 7 guys dropping back into coverage. When an offense is forced into 3rd and long, that's an impossible task against such a good defense. Richland's defense showing why they're the talk of the town out there. A lot of people on the west side or around the state just didn't know a whole lot about them. If you're seeing them for the first time live like I am, you got to be just as impressed.
Weisenfels from his 16, spins around. What a move. The senior's loose again, far side, picking up a block. Out to the 44-yard line. He just continues to make plays tonight.
He is a one-man show. We've seen him on offense and defense, special teams, getting the job done. And that's just an incredible individual athletic play to spin, avoid defenders, and then turn the corner, get upfield, turn the afterburners on, and go. And again, giving this offense fantastic starting field position.
Just 5'9", 170. He's playing huge tonight. On the sidelines, getting a blow as the Bombers offense back on the field. McCary hitting the backfield, and he'll be dropped. Coming up is Jake Bailey, the Kinko defensive MVP.
6 foot, 220 pounds, and he is physical. We talked about Lee. Now on the flip side, you see Jake getting the job done, shedding a blocker, getting penetration into the offensive backfield, and that's the way you stop a run game.
He's got 16 sacks. The other end, Schreier, 16 and a half. McCary's picking his way, finding his way inside Falcons territory. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
You know, right now, it just looks like Richland is playing harder. It looks like they want it more. Woodinville is going to have to rally the troops and figure this out, because you can't be in a state championship game and get outplayed with effort.
And Richland's tempo is so fast. They're on to the ball as soon as the ref puts it down. Boom, on it. You see Josh?
Jelinek, the offensive coordinator for Richland, has done such a good job with an inexperienced quarterback, a first-year starter, to come in. And I talked about that mesh on that handoff, said it might come back to Burnham. I don't know what was going on, but they've got to figure that timing out a little bit better.
Not been hurt until that play, and they lose yardage on 3rd down now. 4th down and 4 situation.
You see the timing. It's almost like they're kind of snapping it in between the quarterback and the running back, where early on it looked like just really good mesh timing, but that was not intentional. They need to figure that snap out, get it straight, and looks like they're going for it on 4th down. Sometimes you'll see a little pooch punt here where the defense has to stay in their defensive personnel and the quarterback will just do a quick boot.
Penalty flag before this one. Might have been movement on that Richland line.
And that was not going to be a quick boot. They were going for that on 4th down.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Now you got to punt.
Now you got to punt. That was rolling the dice a little bit from the 50-yard line on 4th and it was a long 4, almost 4th and 5. Now when you're in a 4th and 9, 4th and 9.5, at this part of the field, you got to punt.
Fouch back for Woodinville, standing on his own 25-yard line, awaiting the punt from Mendoza. Falcons nearly got down. A beautiful kick, though. Fouch nearly drops it, but recovers. Woodinville with the ball on their own 18-yard line. Kind of sums up their night. Bobbling and stumbling and bumbling. Needing to get going to give those guys something to cheer about. Wayne Maxwell and that defense using the iPads trying to figure out what's going wrong for Woodinville. They trail 14-0. Two Kinko 4A rivals meet in the 2005 state title game. Woodinville Skyline quarterback Jordan Greek led the Falcons to a 14-7 lead in the 2nd quarter. But Skyline quarterback Jason Harris would account for 5 touchdowns on the night, 3 in the air and 2 on the ground. The Spartans prevailed 35-21 in a hard-hitting game to take home the championship. And that was Wayne Maxwell's second year as head coach. An interesting, wild ride there in the playoffs for Woodinville. Again, back for the first time since then. Ackerman with a big game, but a fumble on the ground. Ball on the ground, a massive scrum for it. And it's Bombers' ball. Second turnover for Woodinville.
Well, this is just so unlike what Woodinville has done all year. But again, credit to just how good Richland is playing. Ackerman tried to lower the shoulder at the end of the run, get a few extra yards. We talked about how big and physical he is, but this is the defensive players ripping it out. Coaches on defense will always talk about wrap and rip, and they did a nice job of engaging Ackerman and then trying to rip that ball out of his hands, and they get a huge turnover.
And who did the ripping? Weisenfels. Guess who?
Guess who?
Another play from the senior. Jensen trying to crank it up. Looking end zone, but Jake Bailey hits him. And that one falls incomplete.
Well, as a quarterback, you have to have an internal clock, especially the closer you get to a goal line. The defensive guys don't have to keep backing up. The clock has to be faster. So for Cade Jensen, he's had a few plays tonight. He's extended it, but if you're just going to stay in the same spot in the pocket, you got to get that ball out of your hands quicker.
McCary, big hole up the middle. Still on his feet, inside the 10, the 5. First down and goal once again for Richland.
I mean, this is just domination up front. I mean, there's no one touching him until he's 10-plus yards into the defensive backfield. The big guys up front for Richland, it's nothing special that they're doing. They're not running triple reverses. They're just handing the ball off and just getting the job done blocking up front.
McCary, you saw his stats. He had 100 yards in the semifinal last week. That was Whitby on that Wildcat, but a flag stops the play.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, previous spot, first down.
Ball was out to the 7-yard line.
It's one of the first negative things we've seen Richland do tonight. It seems like it's all been Woodinville making the mistakes, penalties and turnovers early on.
It's just Wildcat formation again. Whitby jump pass, end zone, Fouch, interception for Woodinville.
The pass up to the middle into the end zone is intercepted by Woodinville.
That could be the spark they need.
Well, and from the leader of this team, that's a difference of going in to score and put it at a 3-possession game to giving Woodinville the ball. Nice job by Nash Fouch. We saw him, looked like he had the interception earlier, didn't get called inbounds. Now he does a nice job of going with his offensive player instead of biting on the run. That was the little Auburn jump pass that we've seen them do a few times. Nice job by Nash Fouch. We know how good he is on offense. He's come up big on defense for them in this first half.
Tebow had a couple of those when he was quarterback in Florida.
That was the original
that. And Sheffy just can't get going. The Bombers D getting penetration and bringing him down for another loss. That's Braden Powell, senior.
Well, right now, Richland's just more physical. Up front, they're more physical. Defensive line are getting penetration in the backfield, not giving any running game plays. And on the offensive line, they're getting great push, opening up lanes for their running backs.
That's Jones on the carry. Big hit, but he keeps going forward. They'll set up a third down and short.
Well, that's important. Getting that 7 yards gives them a third and short, which now they can go to that zone read. They can hand the ball off. They can throw a slant, a hitch. Anything that's in their arsenal offensively, they're able to run in this down and distance. Looks like Richland is blitzing, And this is where the offense will call an audible, and sometimes the defense gets out of it. Look at the 2 linebackers, though. They look like they're creeping up.
And they're coming. Sheffy gets it away. No, batted down again. Line of scrimmage. Looked like that was Stanfield again. Falcons go 3 and out.
Well, and for an offensive lineman, you're trying to block the defensive lineman, not allow them to get to your quarterback, but you also have to stay engaged where they can't put their hands up to bat it down. We've seen that now twice on a 3rd down that guys were open and the ball gets batted down. And for Jaden Sheffy, sometimes you have to kick over. You're not always throwing over guys. You got to throw through lanes. So you got to feel that out, slide over a little bit, give yourself a nice passing window.
Weisenfeld catches this one, making a couple people miss. Nice block. Stays on his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds. Another big return. That's his 3rd already tonight.
Weisenfeld with that punt return.
Well, number 14, Jared Whitby. Watch the block. He'll come into your screen to the right. He lays a shot coming up. Boom, right there. Nice return. Nice job blocking downfield. And again, the special teams unit for Richland coming up big.
Noah Stiefel having to make the stop, but not before another big return from Weisenfeld. McCary for a couple on 1st down.
It just seems like Richland's had the ball the entire first half. And that's where going back to 3rd down statistics. The conversions on offense, Woodinville is not converting 3rd downs, and conversely, Richland is.
McCary run down by Bailey. And now 3rd down.
Chased down by Jake Bailey.
If you go back to our studios, and Jason, you got to be pretty impressed what you've seen so far from this Richland offense, especially against this Woodinville defense.
Well, I think both defenses coming in were highly touted, but I think what you're seeing is senior leadership by Richland. 9 starters on both offense and defense for the Bombers, and they do not seem phased whatsoever. They've been here before. They seem very, very focused to make it happen again, and yet another 1st down for the Bombers.
That play, big 3rd down pickup. Ryan Piper on the receiving end. Take a look at this one. Jensen winds up, and it gets there.
Yeah, that's just man-to-man coverage, and he basically shielded off the DB like you do in basketball rebounding, put his body in front, reached out, brought it in. They convert another 3rd down.
McCary up the middle, big hole on his feet, fighting for the end zone, and he's in.
Hunter McCary, number 21, goes 17 yards into the end zone.
17 yards out for number 21.
When it's the second effort, too. You watch, coaches will always talk about yards after contact for receivers, for running backs. And the Richland perimeter players with the ball in their hand are just wanting it more than the Woodinville defensive players are in stopping them. The big guys up front, again, doing a nice job getting push, opening up lanes. But as a linebacker and a DB, you got to come up and make that tackle.
Hey, don't break our camera there, buddy. All right. He doesn't. Take a look at this effort again.
Well, the lane is there, but he breaks through the arm tackle, breaks through another arm tackle, lowers his shoulder, gets forward. That's just domination up front, and he should be all smiles. They're feeling good about things right now.
And number 21 giving them a 21-0 lead. He caps that drive, but Jason, it all starts again on another fantastic punt return by that man, Adam Weisenfeld. He's done a little bit of everything in this first half.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen a player have so many ways to impact a game, especially in a title game, that Adam Weisenfeld has in this first half. And you look at the 21 points they have on the board, he's had a strong say in every one of those, whether it was the initial bubble screen pass that he took into the end zone, the interception, which obviously they didn't get points out of, but 2 punt returns have given them field position inside Woodinville territory, both of which led to scores. And then throw on top of the fact that he's perfect on PATs, and the guy's had himself a heck of a night.
Jason, if you're Mike Paluski, offensively for Woodinville, getting the ball back here, they'll have about 3 minutes. What's your strategy? What changes are you making? What are you telling your guys?
Well, I think you got to put the ball in Sheffy's hands a little bit more, not only throwing the ball, but running the football. You've also got to find an answer for Jax Lee. From a blocking standpoint up front, he's playing that defensive tackle spot. You've got to be able to control him to allow your athletes a chance to get out in some space.
Akamus on the return there, a flag on the field, so Woodinville will take over. Not sure where yet, depending on the penalty, with 2:59 to go. Mark Johnson, our referee, discussing this.
During the return, block below the waist against the receiving team. 15-yard penalty will be from the end of the run. It will then be first down.
So there you have it. So 2:59 to go. Taylor, what would you do with Woodinville's offense here?
Well, I think you got to be careful now. Backed up like this, 3 minutes left. You don't want to do something crazy and have a turnover. But I think they got to start attacking the middle of the field in the pass game. We're watching on the outside. The corners are off coverage. Safeties are back. I think there's some vulnerabilities on some digs and some pipe routes.
Sheffy loses the ball and Richland recovers. Casey Perryman. We talked about the mesh for Richland. The mesh didn't work there for Woodinville, and they turn it over for the third time.
You know, one thing I'll tell you, in the Tacoma Dome, it gets pretty hot and humid. They've been playing their entire season outside. All of a sudden, your palms get a little bit sweaty. The ball feels a little bit slick. We've seen it time and time again in the Tacoma Dome, teams having uncharacteristic turnovers on handoffs, and another painful one for Woodinville.
I asked you and Jason what Woodinville's offense was going to do, needed to do. Neither one of you said.
Yeah, that would not have been in my top 100 things.
No. So Richland taking over. Falcons 17-yard line now. First down 10. A lot of time left here in this first half. Jensen not wanting to waste any time, though. Nearly intercepted. Was Akamus getting his hands on that one?
That was there. That was a time post, and Cade just hesitated a little bit. That was there on if he throws that on time, his receiver is walking into the end zone. Fortunate for Woodinville that they didn't convert on that. One thing we're seeing for Woodinville, they're having to crowd the box now to stop the run, which is going to give one-on-one matchups on the outside.
And how about that? That's the most points this defense has allowed all year long. We're in the second quarter. There's McNary fighting down to the 15-yard line. Previously, Skyline was the high with 20.
Yeah, it's almost kind of shell shock right now for Woodinville. If you look at their coaches, their sideline, the guys on the field, coaches are trying to keep everyone upbeat, but they're kind of looking around like, whoa, we haven't been through this.
Coach Maxwell telling us that this defense very good at making adjustments on the fly. They're going to need to make some adjustments, and they can't on that play, and that is another touchdown.
By number 24,
Sammy Cervantes from Jensen.
Well, that was a slugger route. He runs a slant and a go, and they're picking on number 2, Seth Pregler. They've gone after him all night. He's open, a nice ball put out in front of him where he can get it. Ball might have been underthrown just a teeny bit, but a nice job of coming back to it, reaching out. And as a DB, if you're beat, you got to try and make up, and you got to get your head turned around or read the receiver's eyes and get your hands put up when his go up. He did neither. They give up the touchdown.
Another PAT to Weisenfels. This is not what Woodinville and a lot of people in the T-Dome thought this game would be right now. 28-0 Richland.
I mean, look at that. You can't just focus on one guy. If you say, hey, we're going to stop Adam, okay, well, we're going to go to Mendoza and Piper and Cervantes and Sanderson. There are so many weapons for them as a defense. You just have to stay in zone and just not allow them to get one-on-one matchups and take advantage.
Let's see some more highlights from this man. Here's interception number 9 on the year for Weisenfels. 3 punt returns, 77 yards, making a lot of green jerseys miss him.
I think he probably has more return yards than Woodinville's offense has in yardage. But again, the spin move, we've seen the speed, we've seen the vision, the cutback, and then even on a good run that Woodinville has, they cough it up. We saw him cough it up on the mesh on a handoff. This has been a one-sided half. It's been kind of a mix of both things. Woodinville playing sloppy and Richland just being that dominant.
77 yards again, return on 3 punts. Woodinville's offense, 53 total yards. Akamus again from his 8. Nice return out to the 40-yard line. So still plenty of time for Woodinville to get something on the board before half. And again, remember, we want you to join the conversation for up-to-date game information and live interaction. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Check us out. Stay connected with Root Sports.
Well, now for Woodinville, you got 2 minutes and you got good starting field position.
I'm going to ask you what they're going to do offensively now. 2:05 to go, Taylor.
The key is to get the snap.
Yes.
Make sure you bring that in first and foremost. But all joking aside, I think they got to attack the middle. Get some digs, get some pipe routes, get a rollout, give Jaden a run-pass option.
They come after Sheffy. Trying to hit that quick out. It was incomplete. It's second down.
That was there early on, but now Richland, they're just going off technique, and then the corner is just squatting. So if you throw that curl, that comeback, that hitch, they're waiting on that with the safety over the top.
Sheffy runs in a couple of bombers after a 3-yard gain.
Runs it out to the 44-yard line, a gain of 3.
There's just nothing there. He rolls out, he's got a route combo, and the defense is just pattern recognition. They're seeing things, they're holding their assignment. The big guys up front are getting good penetration, and the linebackers are doing a nice job dropping into zone, but keeping their eyes on Jaden, almost like a spy coverage, and when he tucks it and runs, they come up.
Swing pass, Akamus gets a block. He's got a first down and then some. Clock will stop with the first down.
That's a great call. That's a screen. Just a swing screen to Akamus out of the backfield. Now you get linemen downfield blocking. When D linemen are getting good push and good pass rush, a counter to that is screens. Let them think they're getting to you. Your offensive linemen let them go, and then they go downfield and block the second-level linebackers.
Sheffy, that was a good pass, in rhythm on time. Usoro just can't make the grab at second down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was a nice throw. That would have been close to a first down. He could have gotten out of bounds, stopped the clock. For Woodinville right now, just penalties, mistakes, turnovers, drop passes. Against a very good opponent, you cannot beat yourself.
Sheffy ball on the ground again, able to pick it up, but he is going to go down for another sack and a big loss. It's Perryman, it's also Davison.
Caleb Chapman.
And a timeout, Woodinville.
I mean, that's just sloppy. That's just sloppy. You can't be in a state championship game not getting snaps to a quarterback, dropping passes, jumping offside, fumbling. This is about as bad as it gets for Woodinville and their fans. Their fans don't even know what to say. They haven't seen this all year. This is a bad time to bring this style of game out. But I'll tell you what, you have to gather your composure. You still have 50 seconds left. It's third and long. You could be in 4-down territory if you get a good game here. It's not, hope isn't all lost, but you got to get some momentum and get things going. this is where senior leadership matters. You know, this is a senior-laden team. Somebody's got to get in that huddle. It doesn't even have to be your best player. Leader is not the best player. It's just somebody who makes people around him better. Someone's got to get in that huddle and say, hey, guys, calm down. Let's get back to playing our style of football, which has got us to this point. This does not look like the team that's been playing previously all season. So this down is big. Get some yardage. Give yourself a 4th and manageable. And I think you got to go for it with the score 28-0 and the way Richland's dominated.
See what they can do here against that defense. Look at the stats for the Bombers. Again, 1 pick tonight. Sheffy under pressure. Here they come, and he's going to spin out of that first tackle. Still on his feet. Tucks and run, and he's got himself a first down, and he's out of bounds. Great individual effort by Jaden Sheffy.
We said he can throw the ball, but he can run it. He's rushed for over 500 yards on the year, and he's looking for a post, and it was there. For some reason, he didn't pull the trigger, but this is what he can do. Even if he doesn't make the right read, he can still make up for it with his athletic ability. Huge first down, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. They're moving now.
Ackerman's handoff hit a couple times, still on his feet. Finally brought down by Josh Mendoza. The Falcons call their second timeout.
And the mindset for them right now, for Woodinville, you can't try and get in field goal range and be satisfied with a field goal. With the score being 28-0, and the way the offense for Richland has just moved the ball on your defense, they've got to be gunning for a touchdown at all costs here.
You see Coach Wayne Maxwell. You see Sheffy's stats as well.
Well, when you see all the blonde hair of the Woodinville kids, that's something they do every year. It's been for the last, I think, 5 or 6 years. When they get to the playoffs, they go and do that. And the coaches, once they get in the semifinals, do it. And for head coach Wayne Maxwell, it's if they win the state championship, he'll do it. So there's layers to this.
Yes.
But if they do pull it out tonight and come back, next week in the halls, you might see a lot of what looks like numerous boy bands walking around the hallway.
Yeah, Coach admits it. It's not a good look. It's not pretty. I said, do some do them themselves? He said some groups, guys, go to a place to get it done professionally. Some do it themselves. You can tell because it's more orange.
I love it.
Than
Mike
blonde.
Bluschke, the old coordinator, said, what do you think? He said, I'm bald. It doesn't matter.
Nothing would help, huh? Sheffy, plenty of time. Got to tuck it again. And he's down to the 20-yard line. Clock at 19 and counting.
Passes it up to about the 20-yard line.
Got to take your last time out here, and they do. So they'll have 16 seconds left, and if they can get a first down, the clock stops. While they move the chains in high school, they'd have time to get up, and at this point, they either get up and down it, or they call 2 plays in the huddle, knowing what they'll call on first down.
And I guess you couldn't really color that bald head. Meridian and Royal face off for the 1A championship this afternoon. Eastern commit Simon Burkett from Meridian up the 10-yard scamper in the 4th. They tie the game, but Alonzo Hernandez and Royal respond. His 3rd touchdown of the day. It's the game winner. Royal wins 33-27, their 3rd straight title. Take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next, the Gridiron Classic winners. At Flamma, Royal, Hawkinson in 2A, getting Tumwater. And then 3A, of course, last night, O'Day taking care of Rainier Beach.
I'll tell you, 2A, Hawkinson, Cannon Racanelli, his brother, Sawyer Racanelli. It was a domination in the state of Washington by the Racanelli family. Just an absolute takeover.
That's a good football name.
It's fantastic. And if their personalities, Cannon Racanelli, one of the best personalities in the entire state of Washington. Fun kid, big-time player.
All right, 3rd down 1. Sheffy again can't find a receiver. He's got to run, and he will. And he's got the first down, and he's out of bounds.
Sheffy scrambling with the football.
Just nice coverage in the secondary by Richland. There's just nothing there for him. It's good protection by the big guys up front. You know, number 57, Kay Beresford, the left tackle for Woodinville, just picked up a USC offer. So they've got big guys up front getting the job done. The secondary is just doing a great job of locking everything down, and there's there's the big guy up front. Washington State, USC, and I think he's going to have many more as the next month and a half plays out.
Big 6'7", 255-pound senior. All right, 9 seconds to go. They fake to Fouch. Sheffy will be brought down.
Can't do that.
Can't do that, and that's it. First half ends on the sack. Woodinville drives, but the clock runs out on them.
I think that sums up the way the entire first half went for Woodinville. It was good play by Richland, but also just not a smart play by Woodinville there. For Jaden, you got to know, throw that away, give yourself another down.
Falcons do get the ball to start the second half, but they trail 28-0 as we go back to our studios with Angie and Jason. Angie, most points that Woodinville's given up all year.
Yeah, I think that Woodinville is probably in the same camp that we are, Brad. I think this was a little bit unexpected. Jason Stiles here with me, and we expected to see a battle, but clearly that has not happened. All Richland so far.
Well, we talked about in the pregame that Richland has forced 10 turnovers in their 3 playoff games preceding this one, and they have just continued right where they left off. And on top of that, they've made the most of those turnovers and put them into points. So, some sloppy play from Woodinville, but boy, Richland has come out in all phases, offense, defense, and special teams, and just dominated this one.
Again, Taylor Barton saying this is his first look at them, first look for us as well, and boy, have they been impressive, no doubt about that. Straight ahead, Jason breaks down what Richland has done so well through the first 2 quarters. You are watching Beacon Plumbing High School Football on Root Sports. It's 28-0 with Richland on top of Woodinville getting blanked. Welcome back to Beacon Plumbing High School Football here on Root Sports. Richland leading Woodinville 28-0. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Angie Bentig here along with our football analyst Jason Stiles. And last night in the 3A championship, we had a tilted game. We see that with the score against Knight. Let's start with Richland's offense that's gotten them out in front. I mean, this isn't a team that is grinding out yards. No, they are just chewing up big chunks of the field. Yeah, well, and they've been really multiple, so they've been able to get rushing yards to McCary. But big plays are a funny thing, and you don't have to be real exotic to get them. Look at this. They spread the defense out. All you've got to do now in zone coverage is do your job individually. Look at that linebacker way inside, and there's Weisenfels. Weisenfels just has to run away from him, and if everybody does their job, look at the point of attack. Both guys got hat on a hat. Now he's just got to run through that lane the size of a semi-truck, running away from that linebacker, and then just make Nash Faust mix, and he walks into the end zone. So just a great play by Weisenfels. We've seen him all game long, and just domination by him and the Richland Bombers so far. Yeah, and on the other side of the ball, this defense causing 3 turnovers. This group is just relentless. Yeah, well, it starts with the all-mid-Columbia Conference defender in Jax Lee. And this is a play in the second quarter. They have him double team. They actually have a play designed to stop him, and he just beats the double team, brings Jaden Sheffy down, and right as they're talking to him, they don't even have time to flash, and then the very next play comes right up and just brings a running back down. He has been in the backfield all game long, and this is a Woodinville team that likes to run the ball with a 3-headed monster, but when you've got a guy like Jax Lee in the backfield constantly, play after play after play, it really puts the timing of that offense off, puts them in long yardage situations. And while we saw Jaden Sheffy get on track there in that last drive, he's been running for his life the whole time. No rhythm offensively for Woodinville, and in big part due to that defense. Yeah, he's like one of those guys where the moms call in Little League and say he's too big to play. He's got to go up to the next level. Woodinville struggling to get much of anything going offensively, but Nash Fouch comes up with a huge interception in the second quarter to deny Richland its 3rd touchdown, but at the break, it's the Bombers over the Falcons, 28-0. We're back after this. Richland and Woodinville are just about set to kick things off in the second half. Jason Stiles is with me. And what's the focus for Richland? And Jason, you are not allowed to tell me, don't change a thing. Well, I won't say that because Woodinville's going to get the ball back first, and they're obviously a team that's gotten here because they're really good. And so Richland's got to absorb that shot that Woodinville is going to give them coming out of the second half locker room. And then they've got to get back to running the football. They don't need to play
not to lose here. They still play to win, but the bottom line is they have not turned the ball over. They've got to stick with that recipe and make sure that they come out and know that Woodinville's going to give them a shot early, but if they can absorb that shot, they've got a 28-point lead, and the rest looks pretty good for them.
That was much better than don't change a thing.
Well,
that was
I'd
much
give it a
better.
shot, right?
For adjustments on the other side of the ball, we bring in Taylor Barton from the T-Dome. And Taylor, we have seen glimpses of brilliance from Woodinville, but they have certainly made their share of mistakes that have to be corrected in between.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, they just need to calm down and relax. They've got all the pieces. They can come back from this deficit. This offense can score quickly. The defense can make stops, but they got to quit shooting themselves in the foot. That's the biggest thing, the turnovers, the penalties. If they just relax, get back, and there's no such thing as a 28-point touchdown. Just get one score at a time, get back in this thing, and crazier things have happened.
All right, Taylor, thank you very much. We appreciate it. See that? No such thing as a 28-point turnover or touchdown.
Yeah,
love that stuff.
Well, yeah, he's a one-liner waiting to happen. He's fantastic for that.
He's clever. He's a clever one. All right, well, we told you to keep your eye on Richland's Adam Wiesenfels, and he is living up to the promise. His interception on defense sets up his receiving touchdown on offense, and at the half, Richland is up 28-0. We're back right after this.
It's Wiesenfels diving for the pylon, and he's in. Jensen going up top. Great over-the-shoulder catch, spinning and diving for the score. Welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. If you look carefully to your right there, you can just make out the silhouette there of Taylor Barton getting his customary halftime hot dog concession stand, making the rush. Welcome back. It's Brad, Adam, and Taylor Barton. Let me check. You got everything on. You're clean. You're good.
They were out of hot dogs. That's why everyone looked so upset. I got them all.
Oh, you were able to get yours. Good. All right, we're able to smile. Not a lot of smiles in that Woodinville locker room. I think shock.
Yeah, more shock, more frustration. I think the coach is very frustrated with everything that's going on. The players kind of looking around, and that's where they have to just rally the troops, and instead of pointing the fingers, just figure out and solve the problems.
A lot of problems. Not a lot went right. Our Beacon Plumbing call of the game. A lot of problems, 3 turnovers, and just nothing going the Falcons' way. Of course, Richland had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, it was kind of a combination of mistakes Woodinville was making, but just how good Richland was playing. They're on a snap, that's on Woodinville. But as far as the batting the balls down from the defensive linemen, sacks, defensive linemen interrupting the run game, it's just been an absolute domination by this Richland team. And now we have to see at halftime, can Richland come out and not be complacent? Can Woodinville come out and adjust and fix the things that are wrong?
Stats dominated by Richland. Again, 28 points, the most points given up by Woodinville all season long. It was 20 by Skyline, but 28-0. 3 turnovers. Red zone, Richland very efficient on third downs as well. Bombers taking care of things, and we are underway second half. Woodinville puts the ball on the ground again, but able to recover on the 40-yard line, so at least good field position to start here the third quarter for the Falcons.
I always love the beginning of the third quarter because this is where you see the adjustments that a staff makes. You come in with your game plan, and the defense or offense are going to show various wrinkles that they set up throughout the week. Now you've got a full half of seeing what they're doing. So let's see the staffs, offense and defense, for both teams, the adjustments they make on offense and defense.
You see the quarterback comparison. Sheffy really yet to get going. Does have 40 yards on the ground, but just 4 of 9 through the air and just 26 yards.
When you already see the miscommunication and alignment for Woodinville, the coaches are yelling at the receivers to line up, get on the other side. Just a terrible start to the way the first half went. You think they would have figured some of these things out.
Mark Johnson, our referee, will have the call for us before we even get a playoff here in the third quarter.
Before the snap, delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, it's from the previous spot. First down.
You know, Brad, what happens in these kind of situations after a game when a team loses, they go, well, we're better. You know, if we played them 10 times, we would have beat them most of the time. Well, but you're not playing them 10 times. You're playing them one time, and it's the team that can focus, be the most disciplined, and be the best team on that night. And so far, in the first half, it was Richland, and not a great start to the second half for Woodinville.
First down 15. Man in motion, Sheffy keeps. Big game right side.
Sheffy keeping the football, runs it out near midfield.
They'll get it down to the 47-yard line.
When immediately you see they thought that the zone read and Jaden keeping it was going to be effective, and on that play it was. Look for him to make a lot more plays in the run game.
Sheffy, quick pass complete. Fouch coming up, making the stop. Weisenfeld's keeping him short of that first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
That's just an awesome job at the corner spot. Weisenfeld's coming up. Nash Fouch throughout the year, when he gets the ball in his hands, it's a one-on-one matchup, and he's going to dominate that. We've seen Weisenfeld's playing him solid all night.
Big 3rd down now for the Falcons.
When you see the off coverage at the top of your screen on Nash Fouch on the single receiver side.
Option. Jones doesn't get much, but he does get enough for the first down.
Pitch to number 20, Matt Jones.
Perryman on the stop for the Bombers.
He's tackled by Casey Perryman.
Well, Mike Plushke at halftime went in and saw an adjustment to make is we're going to go a 3-by-1 set, single receiver into the boundary, and we feel like we can attack that weak side in the run game with the zone read, with an option, and with quick hitches.
Jones again.
Straight ahead to
nice
Jones.
compliment. Akamas, who plays defense as well. Akamas already over 1,000 yards. Jones coming in 971. So Woodinville very close to having 2 backs go over that century mark, or 1,000-yard mark.
2nd and 7 at the 45.
Up tempo, Woodinville. Pass complete. 3rd down 2.
Woodinville made an adjustment. They've been going a 3-by-1 set. Well, now they went an empty set and went a 3-by-2, and they stacked the 2 receivers. Richland didn't move any defensive personnel out there, so it's a 2-on-1. The 2 receivers, see them lined up at the top of the screen? It's 2 receivers against 1 DB. They'll keep going back to that.
Sheffy fakes, and big hole in the middle. Cut back. Finally brought down. Braden Powell saves a touchdown. Tempo, and Woodinville has something going here on offense.
When I think they were trying to throw that little quick now route into the boundary again, but Jaden either had the option to run or just saw that there was a space there, took it, cut it upfield, got a big first down, and this is what Woodinville's offense is used to seeing all year.
Here's Akamas plowing his way to the 13-yard line.
Well, I like the play calling here. There wasn't panic where they came out and Mike Plushke said, okay, we just got to take shots downfield because we're down 28 points. They're being methodical. They're mixing in run and pass. There's still so much time left in this game. The first thing they got to do, though, is get points on the board and just feel like they can get back in it.
13.
Sheffy's got to run again. He's got room. Inside the 5. First down, Falcons, and 1st and goal.
Well, they were trying to hit Nash Fouch on a post at the top of your screen. He was there for a second, but again, this is what Jaden Sheffy can do. When it's not there or when he just doesn't feel comfortable, he tucks it, runs, and for a defense, when you're going man-to-man, it's so difficult to account for a quarterback.
3 receivers far side. He keeps. Sheffy to the 1. Chapman on the stop.
Sometimes in an option, you can predetermine it. I think Jaden predetermined. The last option, he was able to get a field. That one, he faked the pitch and went upfield. The pitch was there. That's a hard thing for a quarterback, whether it's in the run game or the pass game, the zone read, the option, not predetermining based off of what happened the last time.
Akamas into the end zone. Falcons on the board.
Well, this is just a simple zone, getting upfield, having your big guys up front, get push and penetration, going right behind big number 57, Cade Perezford, we talked about it. Multiple Pac-12 offers. When you got a guy like that in high school, very wise decision to run behind him.
10 plays, 60 yards. They take the opening kickoff here, third quarter. And remember, false start, first play, so they were first and 15, and they come all the way down and score, and the extra point is good. So Akamas gets in for the 12th time this year on the ground from 1 yard out, and the Falcons back in this one. It's 28-7 in the third. Welcome back inside the dome. Our cameraman trying to find his seats. Now, if those are really his seats, you got to turn around and go back up because you're not going down. You're not close to the field. Those are reserved for Taylor Park. How about Cade Jensen and the half he had for the Bombers?
Yeah, very good on his decision making. He was accurate in his throws, gave his receiver a chance to go get the ball, whether it was high pointing it, slants, hitches. This streak he threw was about as good a throw I've seen all year. And let's give credit to the linemen. Anytime you're establishing a run game and a great passing game, the big guys up front are getting the job done.
So Jensen, 8 of 14, 116 yards, and the 2 scores. Completed passes to 6 different receivers. It kind of winds up, and sometimes takes a while to get there, but if it gets there, who cares?
If it gets there, if you're throwing with good timing and anticipation, ultimately throwing form, size for a quarterback, it just comes down to, do you make good reads, good decisions, and can you get the ball to your guys?
Whitby taken down at the 23-yard line. A good open field tackle there by Nolan Downs.
Well, this is the first time Richland has seen any adversity tonight. So now let's see how they respond. They've been the aggressors. They've been scoring. They've been on the beneficial end of turnovers. Now they have Woodinville drive down pretty easily and score on them. Let's see how the offense responds.
Again, Mike Neidhold leading this Bombers team to the title game last year. They lose 24-14 to Camas. That experience showed in the first half. They played much better, much more composure than Woodinville. Pass complete. Defender falls down. It's a big play. Cage Skank can't catch up to Josh Mendoza. First down.
When it was a little bit of a high snap, nice job by Cade bringing that down into his throwing pocket and then just throw a nice simple hitch route, and that's one-on-one on the outside. As Richland established the run game, Woodinville is having to crowd the box and is given one-on-one matchups on the outside.
You saw those stats, dark side. Another high snap. Jensen's got to just eat this one. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. But that dark side defense. Again, coming in 45 sacks, 23 interceptions. Only 8 touchdowns given up by the starters in 13 games. Big reason why they are 13-0. The Bombers 13-0 because, well, the main reason of their offense. They put up 46 points a game. And Jensen going up top. He's got a one-on-one matchup. This time, Skank running stride for stride with Mendoza.
Well, now for Richland has not been in a lot of third and longs in that first half. If they were even in third down, it was third and medium, third and short. Now for Woodinville, defensively, you're going to probably see a zone coverage where they're going to be soft, keeping everything in front of them.
He's hit. It's a fumble. Bailey with the sack. It's loose. Bombers claim they have it.
If Richland ended up getting this ball, that is such a big break. Wow, and they
did get it. Not sure how, but they did it. It's fourth down.
There were 3 Woodinville guys around that. Now, this is where you talk a little bit of that long delivery, winding up, taking a long time. Got to have that internal clock knowing guys are clamping down on you. And it falls right in his chest. Another guy grabs it, another guy grabs it, and somehow Richland gets in there, digs that ball, and let's mark that down and come back to that later in this game as a huge break for Richland.
Mendoza getting it away. Pouch from his 35. Gets out to the 40. The Falcons got some momentum. They've got some life in the crowd, and Jaden Sheffy got it done last drive.
Well, started getting active in the offense with his legs, in the zone read, in the option, in the pass game. If coverage is down their zone or man, he was tucking it down, going upfield, and that's tough for a defense to account for that. It's going to affect how Richland's defense is calling their plays now. They've been going a lot of man-to-man. When you're in man-to-man and you get pressure on the quarterback and you don't get to him, now there's no one left to account for him in the run game. So we're going to start seeing more zone from Richland where they have backers accounting for him, or if they go man-to-man, they're going to go with a spy linebacker who accounts for Jaden.
That is Nash Fouch, the senior. Just returned that punt 5 yards down there at the 40, and he stays down. So as the trainers attend to him, we hope he's certainly going to be okay. We take a quick break as he is getting up, which is a good sign. We're back with the Falcons on offense here on Ridge Sports. Check out the Falcons right now on offense. They're on 40-yard line. That's Jones pick up a 5 on first down. Again, Fouch, they're working on him.
Well, this is a big loss, not just offensively, defensively, special teams, everything. That first play on offense, without him, they've been going a 3-by-1 receiver set. They went a double tight end set to account for Nash being off the field.
Sheffy over the middle again, tipped again at the line of scrimmage, and it's incomplete.
That's the third throw this game
that Stanfield's got.
Yeah, that we've seen him get up and time the throw with Jaden. And Jaden's either going to have to move his eyes better where they can't read him, or slide up or over in the pocket so they can't bat it down.
Third down 5. Student bodies up on both sides. Sheffy, middle, complete, first down, Falcons. Making a nice grab. Tyler Owens, the senior, with his first catch.
Well, that's a very good catch. He's running full speed forward. That ball is low and behind him. A great job of flipping his hips, reaching out, pulling that in, and getting a big first down.
Tipped again, but it's complete. That's one way to get it out to Stifle.
Nice concentration. When that ball gets tipped, you're expecting it to come right at you. It goes up in the air. Good job of coming back to the ball. That's 2 nice plays in a row by the Woodinville receiving crew of going down and getting the ball and staying concentrated on the ball up in the air.
I think you got to give Stanfield the assist on that one, right? Ackerman puts it on the ground again. Bombers take over. Woodinville's 4th turnover of the game. Perryman with the recovery.
Well, two breaks for Richland, one on the third down that Woodinville had 3 guys around to get on it, but somehow they got it, gets to 4th down, and they punt. And now a nice job of getting active, making a tackle, trying to rip it out of his hands, forcing a fumble.
Caleb Chapman gets it in there, rips it out. He knows it immediately. And his buddy Casey Perryman right there, the senior, to pounce on it. Ackerman, that's his 2nd fumble.
You just felt the breath go out of Woodinville on the sideline, the coaches and players.
Here comes Parker McCary, and he's driven back. That's Ackerman, a little upset at what happened on offense.
He said, I don't care who has the ball, you're going to pay for what happened last play. That is picture perfect for him tackling.
And McCary had a big first half for Richland, 93 yards rushing.
Well, and it's unfortunate for Ackerman because he is such a good player, and he's had such a good season offensively and defensively. The turnovers tonight uncharacteristic, but it shows the savvy in him and the fight to come back on defense and make a big play.
That's Whitby on the carry. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down 10.
Well, and again, Richland facing a 3rd and long down and distance. They did not have these in the first half. Very advantageous for a defense to be able to either bring pressure or sit in a soft zone.
Jensen fires. Knocked away by Nolan Downs. Incomplete, 4th down.
The junior coming up big. That was a smash route, a rollout where you run a hitch and then a corner route, and you're reading that corner in cover 2. The corner jumped the hitch. Cade Jensen throws the corner, but from that safety spot, coming over, making a big-time play.
So Akamas back now for Woodinville as Fouch still remains out of this game. Bad snap. Mendoza able to get it no problem. Lefty boots it away. Fair catch by Akamas. The Falcons take over on 38-yard line while Chef and the offense get ready to get out. Let's get back to our Ford Sports Desk and Angie Mentink.
Guys, thanks so much. Fans checking in from both sides using the hashtag #WhereIRoot. And we want to know where you are rooting on your team tonight, whether you're going for Richland or Woodinville. Spencer checks in, says, go bring this W home to Kinko. Next up, we've got Big Cat straight from the Tri. Also the hashtag proud of the cloud. Remember to use that hashtag #WhereIRoot presented by Alaska Airlines. And Josh sent that one in, rooting for the Bombers. Guys, back to you.
All right, Ange, that's Caleb Chapman. Last play, he strips Akamas, forces the turnover now. A big sack on Jaden Sheffy. Loss of 10.
And when you're in this 2nd and long now, obviously you're not in 4-down territory. You got to look to just get a big chunk. I've said it a few times tonight. And this is where they really love to go to these comebacks and smash routes.
Sheffy flushed again, escapes pressure, nearly intercepted. As Mendoza got his hands on it. Now 3rd down and long.
This defense is absolutely suffocating Woodinville's offense and Jaden Sheffy in the pocket. The secondary in the backfield doing a nice job covering everything, and then the guys up front just rushing forward, getting a lot of pressure on him.
Should report Nash Fouch back in the game for the Falcons. 3rd and 20. Sheffy. Receiver DB tangled up. They both hit the deck. No penalty.
Well, that's where fans will want a PI if you're Woodinville, but that was just incidental contact. Guys just running and their feet running into each other. That was 3rd and long. Richland brings the blitz. You get man-to-man coverage. I think as far as matchups and personnel, you could find some better spots there on 3rd down for Woodinville. You know, Nash Fouch, you find Akamas, you find there's other weapons there. Unfortunate for Woodinville not to convert, and a big stop for Richland.
Was able to get that punt away. Weisenfeld's fair catch. Fouch came back in. Now they're working on both hamstrings. It could be a cramping situation for him. You mentioned how hot it is in the dome on the field.
It really did. It's something teams have to prepare for because you've been playing the season, especially the last few weeks, outside in the rain and the cold. Now you come in here, it's hot, it's humid. And once you get cramps, it's over. You're in trouble. You got to hydrate the 2 days before you get into the T-Dome. For anyone watching this that has aspirations of being here next year, 48 hours worth of hydration before you get in here.
So Cade Jensen, this Bombers offense, done really nothing here in the 3rd quarter. See their lead shrink to 28-7. Here's McCary. Bailey and the rest of the gang right there to stop him. Ben Pryor also in on the tackle.
Defensively for the Falcons, number 19, Ben Pryor, and also number 44, Jake Bailey. Second and 10 at the 45.
Jensen complete, but hit immediately by Seth Pregler.
Just a slant route, a nice job of Cade reading that, throwing with timing. They get a nice gain, gives them a 3rd and 6, which for Richland, they've been facing so many 3rd and longs. This feels a lot better and a lot more comfortable for their offensive system.
Jensen going up top. Man's got a step, but coming back nicely was Pregler to break up the pass intended for Cervantes.
Well, they went after him in the first half. Nice job of him regrouping himself, coming back. He was beat by a few strides, but a better job of making up ground and making a play on the ball. It hit his helmet, but he got his hands up there if the ball would have been in the receiver's hands. Nice adjustments he's made in the second half.
So Richland 3 and out again. They're ready to punt again. Acma's back at his own 15-yard line. Another fair catch. So a better 3rd quarter for Woodinville, but a minute 32 to go. Need to keep things going on offense.
Well, the defenses look really good. The offense had the long drive, and then the last drive went back to looking like the first half. And again, it's just kind of that combination. Richland's defense, they're just playing so sound. Gap integrity, they're reading patterns in the backfield. I think Woodinville has to get back to using Jaden Sheffy's legs in that zone reading option.
Yeah, nothing for Sheffy, so he takes off up the middle, saw a hole, stays on his feet, spinning, twirling out to the 40-yard line. Big gain on 1st down. He's over 100 yards rushing.
But he's just been a one-man offense tonight. Throwing the ball, tucking it, and running it. Their biggest plays have come off of designed pass plays where there's been nothing downfield, and he's just tucked it, got upfield, and showed his athletic ability.
Nothing doing Ackermas on the 1st down carry. Perryman and also Strasser for the Bombers. Good look there, DJ Search. Richland defensive coordinator. He's got his guys playing tonight, Taylor.
Yeah, so sound in their scheme and also in their effort, and that comes from that man teaching them the right way.
Sheffy fakes, wide open, complete, 1st down. It's Owens again.
Over the middle by Tyler Owens, number 10.
I was in Taylor Pro Golf Discount. My buddy said, hey, my buddy's son, Tyler Owens, watch for him. It's 2 nice catches now here for the Falcons.
Well, yeah, well, with Nash Fouch being the guy that they've gone to all of the time and not being out there, they have to have guys step up, and that's a nice job.
See Fouch trying to get loose on the sidelines is Sheffy. Design run, it looks like, and another nice one on 1st down. Close to a 1st down. He'll be short.
So we've seen him break some runs in the pass game when nothing was there. That was a designed run. You watch the linemen up front block, and you have guys pulling. You got guys downfield blocking. That was absolutely designed. A nice call by Mike Plushke. They're getting momentum going in this offense again.
And getting on the ball and going. That one incomplete. They got the play off before the horn. You see it. 3rd quarter is over. We go to the 4th. We had 12 minutes to decide the 4A champion. Is 28-7 Richland.
Information on past championship.
Richland on top, 12 minutes away from another state title. Their first for that man, Mike Neithold. And the first since '99. They faced Kentwood back then. The Bombers got a pair of touchdown runs from Landon Kafensis, including this 34-yard scamper to take a 21-3 lead. Kentwood, though, they would rally. Richland does close it out. They win 21-18 and earn their 2nd state title. Again, that was back in '99. There's the trophy. Coach Neithold on that staff now. There he is, the head man again in his 10th year of leading the Bombers. In the game last year, they lose to Camas, but that experience paying off. Sheffy, double pass, he's wide open, and it's a touchdown, Woodinville. How about Tyler Owens?
Well, when that came out of his hands, it looked like it might be overthrown. Tyler had to hit 6th gear and go get it and pull that thing in, and just an excellent play call, so well designed, executed, and Woodinville gets back into this game.
It's Noah Stiefel. You're right, I thought maybe overthrew it, but a nice grab again by Owens. My buddy was right. Keep your eye on number 10.
Well, Richland should have listened up to him because they lost track of him, and that's the thing. When you throw so many of those now routes, that opens up that double pass.
See, it pays to go in there and get yourself some new shafts, get fitted for some clubs, because you learn about these football players and teams. Everybody talking about the 4A title game. They're trying to get Fouch ready to go, but great double pass and a great play call, as you said.
Well, a nice shot by Jaden Sheffy. That was a low snap of scooping that up almost like a shortstop turning to in baseball. He picked that up, got it out there in time. That play, everything has to be on time to work. Very well executed and a nice call at the right time. And for Woodinville, reaching into that bag of tricks, pulling it out. But hey, when you're in a championship game and you're in the last quarter, you got to do what you got to do.
Student body getting into this one. The guys get just into it as well. The outfits get more elaborate and interesting. And there's Owens now on special teams. There's some of that. He's cutting up perfectly good shirts and jerseys, but it's a good look.
Whoever's selling the shirts is loving it. They got to keep buying new ones.
Exactly. Hey, they're 13-0. It's been working this year. They're right back in this one, 28-14. And Whitby bouncing off the first tackler to the 29-yard line.
By number 14, Jared Whitby.
The Bombers offense, they come out, did nothing third quarter. And Woodinville definitely got the momentum here in the second half yards, and second half stats will certainly bear that out. Again, first half, all Richland.
Well, this is where sometimes teams get leads and they get too cautious defensively and offensively. Defensively, you sit back in soft zone. Offensively, you just kind of run and keep looking at the clock, hoping it's going down faster and faster. I think you got to stick with what got you the lead, get back to that punishing ground game, and then get some deep shots.
McCary right side, just a couple. Good penetration from that D-line.
Yeah, Noah Taplett. We've talked about him tonight. He is just so vital to the success this defense has had. Very physical. They ask him to do a lot. He's kind of a hybrid player in coverage, and the run game comes up. Just makes a swooping one-arm tackle, shoestring tackle. Nice job.
Another hit in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. We've seen this a couple of times now in the second half for this Bombers offense.
Well, yeah, 1st and 2nd down, Woodinville stopping the run, forcing a 3rd and long. We've seen them sit back in some soft zone coverage. Richland has liked to roll out and throw that smash route in that 3-by-1 set.
Jensen rolls. Woodinville just rushes 3. Jensen throws it up and completes it. You got to be kidding me. Cervantes, how does he catch that double covered as Jensen is knocked out of bounds?
That looked like a pin the ear on the donkey. He just turned around, spun around, and just threw it up in the air. And for Richland, this is reminiscent of Russell Wilson. Backpedaling and then changing direction, turning around in a circle and just throwing it up. Very fortunate that didn't get intercepted. Even more fortunate, his receiver brought it down. And how deflating for Woodinville's defense to force him into a 3rd and long, have him pinned, and give up a 1st down.
Back to the ground, and McCary chugging it out to the 35-yard line. Comes up limping a little bit, but stays in the game.
Well, that's the first big gain on 1st down they've had this half. That's what's been forcing them into 3rd and longs, is they haven't been getting any push up front on 1st and 2nd down in the run game. That makes life a lot easier. Now 2nd and short, Now you can take a shot in the end zone if you want, and then have a nice short third down if you don't get it.
Moving the pile down to the 31. First down, Bombers. And McCary now over 100 yards on the game.
And he's tackled by Quinn Schreier.
Well, this is the point in the game where after every play, the coaches, players, and everyone in the stands keeps looking at the clock. How much time? How much time? Time is definitely a factor now. Richland perfectly content with running the ball, letting the clock keep going, getting first downs, moving the chains.
Down to the Woodinville 31-yard line for this first down and 10. Whitby dropped for a loss. As Ben Pryor brings him down.
No gain on the play.
Noah Taplett got up a little gingerly. Don't know if it's a beginning of a cramp or tweaked his ankle a little bit, but for Woodinville, they're going to have to start going more man-to-man and bring those safeties down in the box to stop the run game.
Whitby left side, and he is hit. Great tackle and stop, line of scrimmage. That's Akamas, and a flag is on the field.
Akamas absolutely flew up from that safety spot. He ran it. He had run support on the outside and made sure that nobody got outside of him. And boy, does he come with some serious heat.
Coach Maxwell saying it's holding on Richland.
During the run, holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty will be from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Takes the penalty.
See if we can see it here.
41-yard line.
And you see that holding right there on the edge, and then Akamas coming up and just laying the wood.
All right, now after the penalty, it's a second down and 20 situation now. Jensen, swing pass to McCary. Well defended. Noah Taplett on the stop.
Well, I like that call, though. You know, it's safe. You get the completion, you get upfield, you get a few yards, and you keep the clock running. That's the most important part of this. You've got good field position. You're potentially in 4-down territory here. But the main thing is that clock keeps running.
Coming up on 8 minutes left in this one. Woodinville's D, the dark side. They need a stop right here. Russian 3, get pressure. Bailey gets to him first. Looks like Quinn Schreier finishes him off.
When we've seen Richland with a 4-man rush get a lot of heat on Jaden Sheffy, that time Woodinville with the 4-man rush getting to the quarterback. We haven't seen that much tonight. Nice job. The defensive front for Woodinville in the second half has played a great game. They have really been physical in the run game, the pass game. They've gotten good pressure on Jensen. That one third down was just a freak play that he got outside to contain and kind of threw it up. But outside of that, they've played very solid in the second half.
Fourth down now and 17. Richland obviously get a punt. Looks like they'll take the delay of game penalty. Clock will get down to 6:58, 57.
When you think about the way this has played out, you know, Woodinville potentially could have gotten on the ball on that fumble on third down and been on about the 20-yard line going in, and then Akamas fumbles as they're having another drive going in. They could have potentially had this at a 28-21 game, even 28-28. But there's still time. 7 minutes, you're down two touchdowns. They get the ball here. If they put a drive together and score, they're not in a situation that they'd have to do an onside kick. They'd be able to just kick off, try and stop them again on defense, and go score and tie it up.
Mendoza back to punt. Akamas at his 10. Fouch still out of this game. Nice high kick. Oh, and a fantastic Bombers roll. Akamas lets it go. And the ball goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line, but there is a flag back around the 45-yard line.
That was a phenomenal punt. The hang time, the spin, he turned it over, and then it bounces out on the 2.
Woodinville really hoping this is against the Bombers.
Hold! You want to decline it?
I don't think he's going to be declining it.
Wayne Maxwell will decline that one. We'll go ahead and take that. Let's have him punt again.
So let me weigh my options. They punt again, and we potentially have starting field position on the 30, or we go on our own 2.
Let's snap it again, boys.
During the kick, there's a holding on the offensive team. 10-yard penalty is from the spot of the foul. It will be 4th down.
But that kick you mentioned, such height and the roll and the time, it took 12 seconds off the clock. Now you're going to have to kick it again.
46-yard line.
Well, we've seen with Mendoza on these punts, he's taken a long time to kick it. And Woodinville, I think they've got to try and attempt to get a rush here and block it.
Mendoza in punt formation.
They've got 9 men on the line. Here they come. High snap. It's loose. Mendoza's got to dive. He's inside the 10-yard line. And an injury again to a Woodinville player. It's Noah Taplett who's down around where the ball was inside the 10. That looks like a cramp. But they were coming, Taylor.
They were coming, and it looked like some guys had broken through. Taplett being one of them. Lucky bounce from Mendoza to pick that up. Otherwise, you got a few Woodinville guys around who could have gotten that and got into the end zone. And when you go down like that and it looks like a sniper got you, that's cramps.
Boy, the penalty huge on Richland. Instead of the 2-yard line, now it's the 10-yard line. How about that? So they're going to stretch out Mr. Taplett, get some fluids in him, and Woodinville takes over on the 10. There's Mr. Noah Taplett on the sidelines working on his injuries. He's getting rubbed out there. The calves, the cramping up. But good news, Fouch is back in the game for the Falcons. And even better news, they've got the ball on the 10-yard line, trailing by 2 scores here.
Well, this is where they like Nash Fouch on a fade. Just give him a jump ball.
Akamas trying to get outside. Got to cut it back in. That defense flying around for the Bombers. Perryman the first to get to him.
And Richland okay with that. That clock is still running. We're under 6.5. Woodinville got to have urgency. Can't huddle up here. They need to get on the ball, get the next play called.
2nd and goal at the 9.
They call it 2nd and goal from the 9. Sheffy backs out from under center. Shotgun, 3 wide. Far side. He looks that way. In and out of the hands. His receiver, Pryor, knows that could have been a touchdown.
3rd down.
Well, for receivers, the number 1 reason you drop the ball is you're turning to run before you catch it. You saw his eyes pull. His eyes got big. He saw that end zone in a state championship game, pulling it to 1 possession. Goes right through him, hits his chest. That's a terrible feeling as a receiver.
3rd down goal. Everybody up. Everybody knows how big this play is.
This is where you got to go to Nash Fouch. This is the guy who's helped get you here. He's got one-on-one on the bottom side.
There he is. Intercepted. Who else? Weisenfels, number 10 on the year. His 2nd tonight.
He said he had 8 on the year. He gets 2 in the state championship against one of the best receivers on the West Coast in Nash Fouch. Now, I think Jaden Sheffy should have thrown this up a little bit higher. Nash has a size advantage. He almost threw this like a back shoulder where you allow the smaller DB to go up and get it. But picture perfect technique as a DB, and then does a nice job of going and high pointing that acrobatic catch, bringing it down. That he is a difference maker. He is an absolute difference maker on the football field.
Giving up about 6 inches to Fouch. able to get up and get that one. Interception in the end zone. Turnover number 5 tonight for the Falcons.
Sideline warning against Richland.
I think they're okay with that. Look, staring at a potential one-possession game with Woodinville. Let's give credit to the Richland defense. How about that? Your backs are against the wall. Seems like the momentum is on Woodinville's side, and then they just dig in the run game, the pass game, get the interception and the turnover. Absolute dominance by this Richland defense tonight.
A one-score game. It could have been with just about 6 minutes left. Instead, McCary trying to move the pile and move the clock. Well, it's been a different defense. This is more like what we've heard about, the dark side, what you've seen and read. They've come to play here in the second half.
Tale of two halves. And I think what happens when you get in these kind of games, you're not sure of an opponent. You get in here, you're just the bright lights, and I think Woodinville just came out a little hesitant in the first half. Wasn't sure, and Richland came out very physical and just established dominance at the line of scrimmage.
McCary picking his way. Looked like he had a gain, a big gain, but tackled down there by Danny Metzger. And he'll bring up third down and about 6.
This is the biggest third down of the game. For Woodinville, they cannot give up a first down here because that's going to take a few more minutes off the clock of Richland running the ball. They've got to dig in here and get a stop.
McCary gets outside. He does. Where do they mark him? Looks like just before the 30-yard line.
Well, I know the Woodinville coaches and sideline calling for a hold on that edge, but if you're a Woodinville defensive player on the outside, you got to keep contained. Even if they're holding you, you just got to keep pushing outside. You can't give up that edge.
So 4th and 1. Richland punt unit coming on. Ackermas going back deep for the Falcons.
Well, Ackermas has called fair catches on the last few. I think he's got to just try and return this. The offense has struggled a little bit, and let's see if Richland can get this off. There's only 3 seconds on the play clock.
And they're not going to be able to get it off. Looks like they did call their first timeout here of the second half.
And Noah Taplett back out on the field. What a warrior.
Back out there. Hey, it's state championship game. All hands on deck. The T-Dome all lit up for us here at night as the high school football season coming to a close. We've got 4:33 left in the fourth. Woodinville down 2 scores, but about to get the ball back here as Richland facing a 4th down and 1 punt team on the field. Last time they tried to punt, snap over Mendoza's head. They're going for it. And they're not going to get there. Ackermas and the guys stop with me. He wants a face mask call, not going to get it. And Richland turns it over on downs.
I guess you can make an argument for that call to go for it there. You get that. It doesn't quite end the game, but it pushes it to very close to that. But the risk reward, I'm not sure, because you don't get it. Now you give Woodinville the ball on the 29-yard line with 4.5 minutes. That was a Las Vegas, let's go to the roulette table and roll the dice.
Second half, as you mentioned, a tale of 2 halves. Screen and pitch back to Ackermas. Another trick play. Fouch back to Ackermas, and boy, could have been a late hit out of bounds, but no flag.
A lot of trickery here. and you be the judge. He's out of bounds. He's out of bounds.
Absolutely.
There's nothing
Not the
close
hardest
about
of
that.
hits, but absolutely out of bounds. Still a nice pickup. It's first down now.
Well, nice pickup, and he got out of bounds to stop the clock.
Nakamas up the middle, finding some room, tripped up before hitting the secondary. Weisenfels, unbelievable.
We've seen him in the pass game. We've seen him in the run game. We've seen him on offense in the run game.
Now you got the matchup you wanted, Fouch and Weisenfels, one-on-one.
Penalty marker down before the snap.
This one might be going against the Bombers.
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty will be from the previous spot. It will be second down.
It'll be second down and 1 now.
Well, when Jaden Sheffy walks up to the line of scrimmage, he's doing a box count. So he's looking at the linebackers and the D linemen. And there are 6 guys in the box right now.
Option. Weisenfels, also Perriman on the stop.
And I love that call. The reason I mentioned was 6 guys in the box. You have 5 linemen, the quarterback and running back. It's a 7-on-6. You have a numbers advantage, but you got to be good on the outside blocking. Just a nice job by Richland.
Sheffy keeps inside the 5. Look at the cutback in the end zone for the Falcons. We can say it's a 1-score game.
This is just individual effort. We've talked about Richland all night. Look at Jaden Sheffy. He should have been tackled about 3 times over again. Just wanted to get into that end zone more than anyone else wanted to tackle him. Just a tremendous individual effort. Got to be feeling good about things. And the way the breaks have gone, Woodinville easily could be tied or have a lead.
Sophomore Blake Glessner, extra point is good. It's 28-21. You see the scoring play after Richland goes for it on 4th and 1.
Well, now you look at strategy for Richland. You've got a lead. There's about 3.5 minutes left. Woodinville has all 3 timeouts left. So you can't just get in there on a vanilla run game and just run it 3 times. They call timeout and they have the ball with a couple minutes left. So you've got to attack offensively.
Sheffy, you see him over 100 yards on the ground. Second half, 21-0. Woodinville has taken. They've gotten right back in this one.
Yeah, and then they get momentum going with a little trickery. The double pass, getting downfield. Nice job by Owens at hitting 6th gear, getting into the end zone, and then Jaden Sheffy just continuing to cut back against the grain, get into the end zone, and the Woodinville fans now starting to feel a little bit of something. Wanting this defense now to come up with a big stop.
Like they've done all season long, the dark side. Big reason why they're here, why they're undefeated. Little Pooch caught and dropped at the 28-yard line. Now, Jason, we talked a lot, and you know a lot, and we've heard a lot about the dark side, and they've lived up to that nickname the second half. What's kind of been the differences that you've seen?
Well, they've allowed their team to stay in this football game, but it all starts at the line of scrimmage. The front 4 for Woodinville has done their job, and while this is not a team that's played championship football the whole game, right? 5 turnovers offensively. They're showing championship character down the stretch. There's a reason why this team is undefeated. There's also a reason why Richland is undefeated, and this is exactly the kind of game we thought we'd have. We didn't know it would be that way or how we'd get to this point, but we're in to have a ball game now coming down the stretch.
Some confusion on the snap. Jensen looked like he was coming up maybe to change the play or the count.
Yeah, they are very, very lucky that didn't fumble. That could have gone very badly for them. When the quarterback's walking up, he's not looking. It gets snapped off his face mask or bounces off his chest. They're very fortunate to not lose any yards and not turn it over.
You see the second half yards. Richland only 28. And it is very loud on the Woodinville side here in the Dome. Jensen looks to quiet them with a long pass. Incomplete. Stifle going stride for stride with the receiver.
The pass intended for number 19, Cody Sanderson.
When for Richland now, they go for it. Now it's an incompletion, so the clock stops, and Woodinville gets to keep all of their timeouts.
And it's now 3rd down and 10. Jensen's cooled off here. You see his stats. 12 of 22, 169. And he's got a big 3rd down right here. Complete. Whitby lowers the shoulder and gets the first down. Excuse me, that's Cody Sanderson.
Number 19, Cody Sanderson.
Wow. That is crazy. 3rd and 10. They're looking to go a screen. He had the option left or right. Ends up going, rolling out, extending the play, getting it to his receiver. They get upfield. They get a first down. Now, where the silver lining for Woodinville, they didn't have to use any timeouts in the previous 3 plays, so there's 2.5 minutes left. If Richland runs the ball, they're able to take a timeout after each play, but they cannot give up another first down.
And they've got another player down on the Richland sidelines. Working on that right leg. Can't see a number, not sure who that is. But how this game has changed in the second half. 28-0 at halftime. Nothing went right in the first half for the Falcons.
When they've had a better second half, but they've still made some mistakes that you look back at and see some things where the ball just kind of bounced a certain way. Others where, man, if they had it to do over again, they'd do it a lot differently. Very uncharacteristic mistakes from Woodinville, penalties and turnovers. But you know, that's part of the game, is every game is different, and the championship teams know how to adapt and just figure out a way to win. And Woodinville, to their credit, they've climbed back into this game, and they've given themselves a chance in the 4th quarter, which in the first half or at halftime didn't even look like they had a chance to do.
That is Noah Taplett, the senior, down for the 2nd time in this game. Came back, and now he's on the sidelines once again. Hey, our CenturyLink What's Next? Take a look at the Gridiron Classic winners, starting in the 1B, 2B, 1A Royal, 2A Hawkinson, and 3A again. O'Day overwhelming Rainier Beach last night. We still have, of course, the 4A to crown, something that some fans maybe were ready to do at halftime.
Yeah,
I'm glad we didn't.
It looked that way, and that's the fun thing is we've seen games every year where it looks like it's just going to be lopsided one way and teams battle back in. And you look at all those championship teams right there, the best weekend of the year. Every year, the state championship weekend, the 3A final Friday night, and then you get the all-day games going Saturday. So much fun to see. And talk about heart, Noah Taplett. He is just battling. You've seen Nash Fouch battling through injury and hopping back out here for both teams, Richland and Woodinville. These kids are leaving it all out on the field, and you just love to see that.
2:29 to go. Richland 1st and 10 from their 41. The carry. Pick up a 4 to the 45. Let's see if Woodinville starts using their timeouts. And they do. Excuse me, timeout. They signal Richland. That's got to be a Woodinville timeout. Hold on. Yes.
Timeout Woodinville.
Mark Johnson makes the correction. Timeout Woodinville. Both teams now with 2 timeouts left.
That was big on first down to get. That's about 4.5 yards. For Woodinville, you got to be a little bit concerned with that, knowing that they're going to keep coming at you, and if you give up one more first down, it is over, especially now that you're using your timeouts. Woodinville really stack the box that play knowing a run was coming. They brought the safeties down. They started pinching down into the A gaps. Let's see if Richland has a little trickery of their own. Maybe go some kind of fake lead and toss a reverse to a slot, or they're just controlling the line of scrimmage. Maybe the coach says, hey, this is what we've done all year. We're just going to pound it.
For the seniors for Richland, chance a little redemption. Lost the title game last year. Have been wildly successful at Richland. Lost to Gonzaga Prep in the semis. Camas took them down. Trying to cap off an undefeated season. McCary hitting the backfield. He'll lose a yard.
Back to McCary. Lost a yard.
Another timeout.
And Woodinville calls for their second timeout.
All right, now 3rd down and 7. If you're Richland, you want to keep the ball on the ground. Keep the clock going.
Conventional wisdom says, yes, run the ball, force them to use their last timeout. And they might, if they stop them, they might not have to use a timeout, let the clock run down, get the punt, and still keep a timeout in their back pocket. So there's a lot of different ways both teams can go here. The main thing is, for Woodinville, they have to get a stop. You don't get a stop, game over.
And Wayne Maxwell and his staff certainly know that. Wayne, the defensive coordinator in 02 and 03 before taking over as head coach in 2004. Got to the title game the next year and thought, hey, this is easy, right? We do this every year. This is fun.
We saw that a little bit last night with Monty Kohler, right? Getting in, going to state championships, winning them, getting there a whole bunch, and then hadn't had one for 20-plus years, and finally got over that hump last night.
3rd down, 7. Bad snap, ball loose. Jensen able to fall on it. Penalty flag on the Woodinville sidelines here.
I think they're calling it on a coach who was running out on the field to call a timeout.
Oh, that could be a huge play. It's 4th and 18 right now. Woodinville was set to get the ball back.
I understand technically you can make that call. I just think, come on. It's a state championship game. Let the kids decide it.
And maybe that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. And I could be wrong, but I saw the coach running out there, and Richland had a sideline warning, so maybe it could just be a sideline warning on Woodinville, which they are very much so hoping that's the case.
Mark Johnson, our referee, again talking things over with his fellow refs tonight.
After the play, sideline interference on the coach. 4th down.
Sportsmanlike conduct against Woodinville.
All right, so still 4th down.
Takes the ball out to the 49.
So they'll mark it now. It's going to be a 4th and 2 situation. A 4th and 3. So this changes things.
Well, we see the play, the snap over his head, a nice job by Kate Jensen to just getting in and going down, not trying to make a heroic play. A fortunate bounce that it came right into his hands where they're able to punt it instead of Woodinville having the ball there. But the penalty then changes field position by a whole bunch of yards, and we've seen Richland go for it on 4th down from closer to their own end zone. Who knows? At this point, Brad Adam, the way this game has gone, who knows?
Woodinville calling their final timeout. It is going to be a 4th and 2 situation for Richland from their own 49-yard line. 2:08 to go. Obviously, they get it, game over. If they don't, Woodinville set up right around midfield. Or do you risk a punt? You've already had a bad snap on a punt.
I think all of those factors are weighing into coach's thought process right now. There's been many occasions tonight where conventional thought is to do one thing, and the coaches have done the exact opposite. So I'm excited to just see what they do and how this plays out.
Mike Neidhold and the Bombers are coming back out, trying to put a few more seconds back on the clock, 4 more to get it up to 2:12.
And it looks like Richland is lined up to go for this. Now, they could do, I said it earlier, they could do a little quarterback pooch punt because Woodinville then can't have anyone back to return it.
I'm talking to Coach Maxwell about maybe, putting some time and a couple of seconds back on the clock.
When you know what this also does is they're doing this, it allows the Woodinville coaching staff to get calls into their players. So they're buying extra time strategically now to get extra time on the clock and to get calls in, seeing how Richland lined up.
All right, they've got the clock fixed now. It is 2:12, 4th down 2. Richland with the offense on the field.
This could be them trying to draw them off and get a free first down. If you're Woodinville, you got to hold your water here.
That's exactly what they did. So Woodinville not biting, not jumping. And Richland calling a timeout.
Well, that's good discipline. Last night in the 3A game, we saw Rainier Beach jump off 2, maybe 3 times on a 3rd or 4th and less than 5 and give up a free first down. Good discipline by Woodinville defense.
But this question still is, what does Richland do? We didn't learn anything on that possession there because they called a timeout. Now they're resetting everything. And Coach Mike Neidhold taking a big sip of water there.
High school football is so great. It's just awesome. This
Especially these
atmosphere
title
in
games.
here,
Yep.
this might be the loudest I've heard the Tacoma Dome in all the years that we've been doing this. Both crowds
Tremendous
filled on their side, loud, and they understand the game. I'm really impressed. They really, some crowds are just, they're cheering. They don't even know what's going on. Both sides really into this game.
So Mendoza lined up to punt. The all-important snap coming up here on 4th down.
Woodinville has to be careful not to try and block it and run into the punter. That'd be a first down.
Mendoza got it, gets it away. Akamas. Again, another fair catch. Woodinville takes over with 2:11 left in this game from their own 20-yard line, down 7.
When you're a young kid, you dream in the state of Washington about playing in the Tacoma Dome in a state championship game on Root Sports. As a quarterback, you dream about that 2-minute drive. When you're younger and you're throwing on the beach, you're going, okay, hey, there's 2 minutes left. I have 1 timeout. I got to go 80 yards. And you're out there throwing. Jaden Sheffy, I guarantee you he's done that, grown up his whole life. Now it's reality.
He would love to have 1 timeout.
He would.
He has
would
0
timeout. But I'll tell you what, he's happy to have 2 minutes, over 2 minutes, even without a timeout.
Sheffy just keeps it. Quarterback draw. He's thrown back by Chapman, who's had a huge game for the Bombers.
I don't dislike that call. You have a lot of time. A defense is expecting pass. Jaden's been getting plays with his feet. You have plenty of time. I'm okay with that.
Screen over the middle. Akamas hit. That should be incomplete.
That is beneficial to Woodinville that was incomplete. If he gets tackled there, that clock keeps running. They actually would have lost a couple yards. That very fortunate an incompletion for Woodinville.
3rd down for the Falcons.
Well, you're in obvious 4-down territory here. You don't have to get it all here, but if you don't get it across the middle, the clock keeps running.
Sheffy sidelines, in and out of the hands of his receiver, Noah Stifle. And now 4th down. The game comes down to this play.
Noah Stifle goes incomplete.
Well, if you're a receiver now, a common mistake receivers make when it's 4th and 11, they run a route to 11 yards and then come back to the ball and end up being short. So whatever route they run, they have to get at least a yard or 2 past the yardstick so they have a chance to come back for the ball and get the first down.
Season on the line for Sheffy and the Falcons. Taking a shot into triple coverage. Weisenfels, why not? A final pick. A hat trick for the senior, and that'll do it.
Is there any way this game should have ended than him getting the pick? 3 on the night. There are so many defensive players that don't get 3 in a season, 3 in a career. He gets 3 in a state championship game. And they run the post to Nash Fouch. You know, that's your best receiver. It's a guy who's done big things for you. You think the defense is going to squat on some comebacks or some digs. You tried the over-the-top post. The safety did a nice job staying over the top. And then obviously the man of the hour, number 7, Adam Weisenfels, comes up with his 3rd INT of the night.
Remember, Coach saying that things just slow down for him. He sees the world in slow motion. That's why he's always in the right spot. He reads eyes. He reads receivers. He knows situations where they're going to be, and he's always where he should be. Unbelievable game for that guy. Unbelievable.
This is going to be a fun ride home back
Absolutely.
East for everybody from the Tri-Cities, and the people in the Tri-Cities at home, I know they are celebrating.
And it is emotional on the sidelines. This student body is rocking for Richland right now.
And the student section giving a little bit back to Woodinville. Woodinville does a big chant before the game. I believe that we will win, and now Richland fans throwing it right back at them. The greatest formation in all of football, the victory formation.
And the seniors getting together on the sidelines for Richland, sharing hugs, tears. 4 years, lots of time, lots of practice, workout, sweat. The hard work pays off. They fall short last year. This year, they've got the 4A title. They rush the field. The clock is continuing to run. Woodinville can't stop it. Let's go ahead and give it to them. The Bombers are your 4A champions 2017.
Just a complete team victory. Obviously, we look at a guy getting 3 interceptions on the night. When we talk about Weisenfels, yes, he had a great individual statistical performance, but it was a complete team victory. The offensive line, the defensive line, linebackers, running backs, DBs, receivers, quarterback, special teams, punts. Everybody played a part in this championship for the Richland Bombers.
Congrats to them, but congrats to Woodinville as well. 13-1. Again, 28-0. They were down at half. They turn it around completely. Almost come all the way back and just fall short. 28-21. Player of the game, though, no doubt. Adam Weisenfels. Bombers don't score in the second half. But 28 in the first enough, and it holds up for the title.
Sportsmanship medallion to number 14, Gage Schrank from Woodinville High School, and to number 72, Christian Beach from Richland High School.
You look at for Woodinville, and it was the same thing last night with Rainier Beach, and today with all the championship games. Somebody has to lose, and for Woodinville, obviously they're disappointed, and they should be, but once they have some time to let things set in, they're going to understand what an amazing season they had. The experiences, the things they did, they were a phenomenal football team, and I think the hardest thing for them is going to be to look back at this and see some of the mistakes and some of the opportunities they had.
6 turnovers. Tough to win any game, especially a state title game, as the Falcons have to watch the Bombers celebrate. Let's get back to our studio. I think we saw some tears from the coach there as we go back to Angie and Jason. I've seen tears from Jason before, Ange, but nice to see from the head coach there.
Congratulations to Mike Neidhold. Absolutely. And you think about this as a coach. To get here to the championship game last year, lose to Camas, but then somehow, some way, get back here and then win it all this year, Jason.
Well, and knowing that you have 30 seniors, so the expectations are going to be on you all season long. You're going to have a target on your back every single week you go out and play. To jump out the way they did this game, have Woodinville, who's a championship team in their own right, come all the way back. And that man right there, Adam Weisenfeld, is truly the most dominant performance I think I've ever seen in a title game from both offense, defense, and special teams. Just a special performance by that man, the entire Richland team. And you got to give credit to Woodinville, too. They gave it all they had and almost made a comeback.
Yeah, so much has been said about what Woodinville has done offensively and defensively this season. But what a fantastic job individually by Weisenfeld. 3 interceptions. Again, Taylor said it. That could be like a career. I mean, a season for sure.
And he did it at critical times, down in the red zone, going in, guys trying to make him or make points to get back in the game. And he's matched up against Fouch, the best player for Woodinville on the outside, and just able to make plays time in again. And also on special teams. I mean, the punt returns, putting him in that field position, Angie. I mean, I just think the stuff that he did tonight in key times on all ends of the field was just incredible.
And he's got lots of fans all over hoping that this was going to happen, hoping that the Bombers were going to win, including Laramie Barnett that sends this one in. Watching our cousin Adam Weisenfeld from Oregon. Go Richland Bombers. Well, congratulations again to the Bombers. This was their 5th title game appearance. They were trying to win their first state title since 1999. Congratulations to them. On the other side, we have to give Woodinville some credit, though, particularly with that first half of football that we saw out of them. I mean, this was a lopsided game. We thought this was going to be a laugher in the second half. It was anything but.
Well, they showed championship pedigree. They came out and Wayne Maxwell and his company, a message at halftime for their team to come out. A lot of football left, and they showed it. Their defense kept them in that game. They started giving the ball to Jaden Sheffy a little bit more. He made some plays for himself, but ultimately, you turn the ball over 6 times in any game, let alone a championship football game, it's going to make it very difficult for them to come all the way back. And too many turnovers, too many missed opportunities. And again, at the end, Richland made the plays they needed to, Angie, to win this football game, but a heck of a 4A final.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Congratulations again to both of these teams on a successful season. I know they only really counted as a successful season if you win that last one. So congratulations again to Richland, who is your 4A state champion. And we get it back now to Brad and Taylor, guys.
Angie, Jason, thank you very much. That is a fun pose. Those guys, Weisenfeld, Jensen, hugging it out midfield here at the Tacoma Dome after claiming the 4A state championship. 14-0. The trophy will soon be theirs.
4A state football champion for 2017.
That's our first place. Boy, they like that one a lot better than that second place trophy they got last year. Guarantee you that. It's fitting that man, number 7's got it.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been the MVP on both sides of the ball.
And now the big one that Richland gets to put their name in. Put it on the plaque forever. 3rd time, 2017. Bombers. I mentioned it's going to be a fun trip back home, back east. I'm thinking trip's going to take place tomorrow, Taylor. I think they've got some celebrating to do tonight.
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be any early bed checks.
Or early bedtimes at all.
Yeah, it might be a rough drive home tomorrow for a whole set of different reasons. They're going to have some fun tonight, and rightfully so. They came, they saw, they conquered.
3rd state championship, first one again since 1999. The first one, Mike Neidhold as their head coach. They were certainly good enough in that first half. They again, high school football, it's fantastic. They put up 46 points a game, only got to 28, but again, it was enough. And Adam Weisenfeld's offense, defense, special teams, you name it, he did it tonight.
Well, and that was on the first series. He comes out, he squats on the comeback route, and then you see him in punt return. Just did some things that made you think of Houdini. Then on offense, just catches the little bubble route, the speed to turn the corner, get upfield, put the ball over the edge, and then again, more Houdini-like tricks. And then on defense coming up, being part of the tackle, causing a fumble, and then the huge interception at the end there. Well, to steal a drive in the end zone, and then the interception there at the end to really seal it. Absolutely incredible individual effort. As Jason said, maybe the best we've ever seen in a state championship game.
Best complete game that we've ever seen from Weisenfeld's. And let's bring in the head coach, Mike Neidhold. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
You got emotional on this one. I mean, can you just describe the feeling on that sidelines and what you feel for your team right now?
Well, just there's a lot of love for our kids and each other. You got to give a hats off to Woodinville. What a great program. There's no fighting. There's kids, and we're real fortunate to win tonight. But our kids are deserving. They work hard. They put the work in. We asked them to take a chance at loving each other, and they did. And here we are with a state championship. It really hasn't really sunk in yet.
We've been bragging, Coach, on Adam Weisenfeld's, the game that he had. Can you brag a little bit about him?
That's what he does. That's Adam. There's no quitting that kid, and he's right there. I want to bring him in here.
We'll get to him, Coach. This is your time.
Well, it's not my. It's their time. He's that kind of kid. There's no quit in him. He's a big play maker for us. He's been doing it for 3 years. We're lucky to have him, and this is going to be a hard goodbye.
Coach, talk about the job Cade Jensen not only did tonight, but the entire season for you, and really a guy you weren't sure what to expect.
We really didn't. We knew that he would be smart enough to figure out our offense, and that's a credit to Josh Jelnick and Tom and Tyler. But he had to do the work, and he had to get us in the right play most of the time all year. And I don't know how many touchdowns he ended up with for a career, but I think he set a school record and all that. He's a smart kid. And again, he put the work in, and there's no quit and no fear in him.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. Safe travels back.
Thank you,
congratulations.
Guys. Thank you. Hard to believe, isn't it, for us? We're just lucky. A bunch of Richland kids playing football in Tacoma. Got to give hats off to Woodinville and their program. They're the best team we played all year for sure.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Certainly a night you and your team will not forget. As again, players mingling on the field, some fans get out there as well. Cade Jensen coming in, 46 touchdowns through the air. It's a couple tonight, and he was just good enough all night.
Yeah, he really was. People use the term game manager. He made plays. He didn't just manage the game. He made plays. He made throws. The streak he threw over the outside shoulder was maybe the best throw, this one right here, that I've seen all year. He couldn't have walked out 40 yards downfield and set it in a better place. He made good decisions. There were times where something wasn't there, and he just tucked it and ran. Other times like that, where he looked like Russell Wilson. He's spinning in a 360-degree circle, throwing it up. Made plays when he needed to, made good decisions. Very happy for that young man.
Doing some post-game interviews right there while he does his. Let's put the headsets on. Adam Weisenfeld's joining us now, the senior. Adam, I want to ask you, one of the last plays on defense, you get your third interception. You kind of slide down, keep the head down. What was going through your head? What were you feeling at that moment?
Man, there were just so many emotions going throughout that game. We had so much momentum the first half, and we came out pretty slow the second half, but we played tough in the end, and all those emotions were flowing at the end. I got that pick, and I felt like this just huge weight went off our shoulders, because that kind of sealed the deal, and that was it after that.
All right, so huge weight off the shoulders. You've got a huge ring, I think you've got. I saw one of your classmates give it to you. Is that a championship ring? Is that real? Is that a diamond ring?
Yeah, it's a real diamond. It's like $50K or something.
Hey, the matchup we love to watch, you against Nash Fouch.
Yeah.
Tell me, accepting that challenge and taking him on one-on-one.
Yeah, Nash is awesome. You know, he's super fast, big body, and super athletic. So it's always awesome to go against guys like that who are going to put you to the test, you know. Our coach sets us up the whole week going over film and looking for tendencies, setting us up for success on Saturday night for the state championship. So, you know, I felt super prepared coming to the game, and I ended up having a couple plays go my way. So that was super exciting. But, yeah, Nash is a super receiver, and, you know, he still got second at state, so good for him.
And you guys got second at state last year.
Sure.
You guys get state, obviously, tonight, and the hug there with your coach, Mike Neidhold. What does it mean for him, the program, for you seniors?
Yeah, that's huge. No one really knows what type of work we put in the last 4 years. We've just grinded so much, and we faced so much adversity. We've grown so close together, and we've been so close the past couple of years, and to finally get it in our last senior year it was just so huge, because, you know, you work so hard and you do so much and you fall short, and then finally your last chance, it works out the exact way you want it to, even though it ended up not being pretty in the second half, but we got it done, and, you know, that was the way we want to go out as a state champion, so that's awesome.
You got to do that. We appreciate the time. Great getting to know you and your coach and teammates this week. Congratulations. Enjoy that ring and enjoy the celebration.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Adam Weisenfels, you saw some of his stats, also had the TD reception and just changed the game. A guy that can just kind of see things before it happens. It's a good quality to have, a good power to have, I guess. Almost like a superpower.
Really, he looked like Superman at times tonight. I'm not sure if you ask him if he went to bed last night and dreamed the best case scenario that he could have envisioned this. What a night in all facets of the game. This was the best team tonight. You know, Woodinville is going to go back and look and, you know, wish they could have some do-overs, but in a state title game you don't. It's one game, it's the best team that night, and tonight Richland was the best team.
You know, the trophy's down for now, but it'll be up as the guys pass it around, take pictures, enjoy it. Student body enjoying the trip out. It started with an interception from Weisenfels, a touchdown, and it ends with an interception from Weisenfels. Woodinville, a great comeback in the second half. They fall just a touchdown short, 28-21. Richland, your 4A champs. We enjoyed high school football again. Another great year on Root Sports for the crew. Back in the studio with Ange and Neil and Jason. Pike out here, Doug, everybody in the truck. Camera guys, of course, Taylor Barton, myself, Brad Adams saying so long. Thanks to the crew. Thank you for watching. We'll do it again next year, 2018. It'll be even better. Thanks for watching high school football on Root Sports.